What's up, Fire Nation? If you're here, it's because you don't play small. Fire Nation is for the ones fueled by passion, driven by growth, and hungry to build real wealth. Not just for yourself, but for your family and future generations. This isn't just a channel. This is a movement. And if you're watching, you are already part of it. I'm Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up. What's up, Fire Nation? If you don't play small and you're here to build, you're in the right place. I'm Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up.
Boom, DJ Dreadbeard. You have tuned in to the intellectual side of YouTube with Miss Julia, A.K.A. Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, Super Chat is appreciated. Fire Nation, march out.
Well, hello, Fire Nation. Today we have an epic lesson for you. Listen. I know it's going to be polarizing. I have a couple of my friends that say, listen, we'll listen on the playback because I know God is salty. Hush. But listen, I'm not going to diss anybody's team today. You know, that's not my style, right? But some people say that they'd rather catch it on the playback because they don't want to be in the conversation. Some people said they're going to call in. Let's see what happens. Either way, if nobody's here, guess what? I, your host, Miss Blue Fire, I am here with you. And I'm here with you all night on the playback. And let's talk a little bit about what's going on. Well, not on YouTube. TikTok. Oh, Fambo. Yo, much respect to Future Fambo, right? Future Fambo took the internet from everybody. And for so long too, right? So listen, let me pre-warn you. Tonight's lessons, the slides have not been beautified like how I usually do with Fire Flames because I've been under so much work pressure, right? And I'm traveling soon to Vibes Cartel concert, right? So it's been under a lot of pressure, but I had to get this out. I had to get this out before anybody else drops out, and we have to stay current. So I said, you know what happened? Let me just focus, get this done, right? You may not have a live on Sunday, you might. It's prepared, but I have so much work to do. I don't know. I have to focus, and I can't lose focus, right? We have to make things sustainable. Big up 3Z Records. Good to see you. Good to see you. So today we're gonna go over. Oh yeah, back to Mr. Fambo. Guys, don't diss him. Don't diss him. He's an elder man, right? He knows that he made mistakes in the past, right? He is an entertainer, a true entertainer. That's why he's so funny, right? Right? And I think he have a genuine love for people. So I'm gonna just take time with Future Fambo when you see him on the internet. All right, good. Now, today we're gonna talk about lessons from the World Cup because you see, when you start to get really deep into business processes and businesses and trying to improve your own business, you start to look at things differently. You start to look for business lessons. These are facts, right? It's just like directors watch TV shows differently. It's facts. Musicians listen to music differently, right? They can separate because they know what to listen for. Now, there are a lot of lessons with the World Cup, but we're going to talk about certain teams and what I have gathered. So listen, you guys are free, 100% free, 100% free, and 100% welcome to call in and say to me, Miss Blue Fire, no, you're wrong. They don't do that. Or Miss Blue Fire, you never consider this. Please do. I can be wrong. I've been wrong before, right? And you guys will watch the World Cup probably differently than I, and I will be able to learn from you. I probably get some more business lessons from you, right? I get a lot of lessons. I get a lot of ideas from listening to you talk on the different platforms. So tonight, I'm telling even all my little mentees, and they're not little, all my big mentees, why they should watch the World Cup. I don't care if you're not into it. There's a lot of lessons. Well, sports, period. That's why I always juxtapose sports, right? And swimming to a lot of business lessons because that was my sport. But there's so much that you can learn from the World Cup, right? And I'm going to go over why every entrepreneur should watch and apply, and why you sports fans who have a business need to watch it a little bit differently. We're going to go over strategies, the mindset, leadership, winning, turning game lessons into business wins. And I want to hear from you tonight. Tonight's a relaxed night. It's before Friday, right? So I'm going to take my time with you tonight because I'm here with you, right? So let's continue. We're going to go. Now, let me go into why it is that every entrepreneur should watch the World Cup. Now, Fire Nation, every 4 years, yes, billions of people gather around the televisions, the phones, to watch one thing, the FIFA World Cup. By the way, I'm going to have one of their attorneys from the FIFA actually come on and speak to us. He's very busy right now, right? And he's going to come on and speak to us, and you guys can call in and ask him questions. But if I'm going to warn you, if they're too sensitive that could put his job in jeopardy, he might decline. He will decline. So just be prepared for that. Anyhow, every 4 years, they want to watch one thing, the FIFA World Cup. Most people think they're just watching football. But Miss Bluefire, I think you're watching business. I know you're watching leadership. I know you are watching psychology. And I know you're watching decision making under pressure. That's something that I always talk to you about. It's what pressure reveals, what's inside of you, right? And that's why entrepreneurs should never dismiss sports as just entertainment. This is what I tell them all the time, right? Whenever I'm mentoring somebody, I always ask them, you watch sports or you play sports? You used to play sports, right? Right? It's not just entertainment. Championships don't reveal who is just talented. No, they reveal who build the strongest systems. They reveal who prepared better. Yeah. They reveal who adapts faster. And they reveal who remains emotionally disciplined when everything is on the line. You have to do that. That's a skill. It's a muscle you have to develop. Tonight, we are going to study some of the remaining World Cup contenders. Not to learn football per se, even though you guys can call it and tell me your tips. But how, let me say it this way, but to learn how to build championships even in your business. All right? Good. So let's continue. Now, before we begin, I want you to ask yourself this question. Which team do you think teaches entrepreneurs the biggest lesson? Is it Argentina, France, Spain, Morocco, England, Norway, Switzerland? And why? You think about that for yourself. Right now, here's our big idea. Business and football reward the exact same qualities. Think about it this way: preparation, adaptability, leadership, teamwork, emotional discipline, long-term thinking, okay? Be able to see far. Great organizations, they don't happen by accident, people. I've been in business so many years and I'm still working on mine. Neither do World Cup champions. They don't happen by accident. Now, let's get into Argentina. Now, I got to tell you, Argentina is my favorite, right? Argentina is my favorite, and so is Messi, right? So let's begin with probably the biggest story in football, Argentina. Every time Argentina walks onto a football pitch, there is one name that dominates the conversation: Lionel Messi, the GOAT, right? The greatest footballer many people have ever seen. But here's the interesting thing. If Messi is truly the greatest, why doesn't Argentina automatically win every tournament? Why can they still lose? Why do they still struggle? You know why? Because the World Cup teaches entrepreneurs something that most businesses, books never, ever will teach you. Individual brilliance, it has limits. Systems don't. I'm going to say that again. Individual brilliance has limits. Systems don't. So you have to build systems. Okay? These are facts. Have you ever believed that if you were just talented enough, or just smart enough, or just hardworking enough, that success would just be inevitable for you? Have you ever believed that? That's one of the biggest lies entrepreneurship teaches people. And you have to live it to know it. Right? Today, we're looking at Argentina. They have arguably the best, the greatest footballer to ever lived. Millions call him the GOAT. Yet, despite having the greatest individual talent, the sports, well, not as ever seen, because Pele, right? Greatness is not a substitute for systems. If Messi himself still needs a team, why do entrepreneurs think they can build $1 million companies by themselves? Right? We're going to break down one of the biggest lessons hidden inside of Argentina. Okay? The GOAT is still needs structure. That's one of the biggest lessons. This is the game lesson. Argentina survived Egypt 3-2 after being down 0-2. Right? So that teaches us this. Even greatness can be placed in danger when the whole system is under pressure. These are facts. You have to have systems. You have to have systems to support your greatness. Here's a business lesson. You can be the Messi of your industry. You're talented, gifted, respected. But if your systems are weak, your business can still collapse, and it will. A founder might have the vision, You meet them all the time. Visionary people, charisma, product knowledge, and they have the brand power. But guess what? If their customer service is poor, it's not set up properly. If the bookkeeping is messy, right? If they're slow to fulfill orders, or if their team is feeble under pressure, or the team can't function without them, the business becomes vulnerable. So here's the mindset lesson from Argentina. Greatness is not permission to be unsupported. Not because Messi is great means that he can be unsupported and still win. Because it's a team sport. You understand what I'm saying? That is why, let me take back to dance hall. That is why one of my pet peeves, even though I don't like to talk about these things, one of my pet peeves is when there's a great artist and the team around them is weak or don't care. What a waste. What a waste. Greatness is not permission to be unsupported. That's why when you find real supporters and good supporters, you take care of them. Yeah, you're great. But don't underestimate the people who support you, who really, really, really support you. Right? And also, be very sharp about when people really don't support you. Okay? You have to look at evidence. Sometimes strong people fail because they believe they should carry everything by themselves. These are facts. You don't have to be a martyr. You're not going to get a medal. No, we just want to see you at the finish line. Here's the mindset lesson. Here's the entrepreneurship takeaway. You build a team that protects your genius. Your people around you matter. Okay? That's why sometimes when you see people are so strict with certain things, say, why are they so strict with that? You know why? Because they know what it is that they need to protect and what it is that they need to guard in order to protect what they need to protect. The only way you get to be soft and happy and free is if your boundaries are hell sharp. These are facts. So you need a team around you that protects your genius. Keyword, protect. Your gift should lead the company, not carry the whole company on its back. Okay? Football lesson. Argentina again defeated Egypt 3-2. It was a difficult match. We saw it, right? The headlines naturally focus on Messi and Argentina's resilience. We saw the headlines. But here's what entrepreneurs should notice. I want you football-loving entrepreneurs to notice this, please. Despite having arguably the greatest player in history, They still conceded goals. Nobody remember that. Nobody talk about that, eh? They still conceded goals. They still faced adversity. They still had moments where people thought that they're not going to make it. It's facts. The presence of one extraordinary individual does not eliminate organizational weakness. It's facts. You're as strong as your weakest link. One great individual cannot mask for organizational weakness. That is exactly how business works. It's facts. Okay? Greatness alone cannot win. Now, here's another business lesson. Even the goat needs a team, a strong team. Let me tell you, when you respect who you are and when you respect what it is that you do, you're sharp. You're sharp. You're very, very. You're deadly when it comes on to who around you and how much access. Deadly. You have to be. It's discipline. It's hard, but not because a decision is hard mean it was the wrong decision. These are facts. It's facts. And as you go and you make mistakes, you realize how important it is. And you're like, oh no, I don't want to do that again. That took me back 5 years. Oh no, I don't want to do that again. That set me back. How much? $1,000. Right? Being the greatest does not eliminate your dependence on other people. You still need a team. You have to treat them well. Right? Messi, of course, he can create opportunities. Of course, he can inspire. Of course, he can change a game. But guess what? He cannot defend every attack. He cannot score every goal. He cannot replace poor decision making from teammates. And this is why I say to you guys all the time, the real leaders help to create other leaders. Why? Because you bring out the best in people. You know why? Because it's good. And let me tell you, yes, it makes you feel good. Yes, it makes you feel like as if you're giving back to the world. But I tell you another thing that it does, and this might be a selfish reason. What it does, it makes your life easier because of the people that you help to create around you. You know that they're going to be solution-based thinking. That's why they're there. Right? Good. You can't score. Everything cannot rely on you. What if you get sick? Right? You can't be two places at once, no matter how great you are. He cannot score every goal. He cannot replace poor decision making from teammates. So if you are a great artist, let's talk about the dancehall. You're a wonderful, great artist. Right? And people believe in you. Right? And then you see certain decisions that's making you like, who is your team? That's one of my pet peeves, eh? Good. Entrepreneurships. Many founders believe that I'm the smartest person in my company. Let me tell you something. I don't want to be the smartest person in my company. Not at all. That's dangerous. A brilliant CEO with weak operations. A brilliant marketer with terrible customer service. A brilliant inventor with poor finances. You're still going to lose, buddy. Doesn't matter. Like, don't lean on what it is that you say, oh, I'm so strong in this. But what are you weak in? Is it costing you your future? You have to think about these things. That's why I tell you, see, when you start on your journey, you don't have time for foolishness. You don't have time for other people's business. You don't have time for the drama. You don't have, you get so selective about your energy because your energy is so caught up in figuring stuff out and trying not to get sued and trying not to lose money and trying to build what you see in your head. That you don't have no time for the BS. You just want to laugh and relax and have a good time with good people. These are facts. Right? Your business only moves as fast as its weakest critical department. That is true, and that's something that I had to learn. Good afternoon, Gaza Ricardo. Good night, my dear. Good night, my dear. Good to see you. Good to see you. Right? Now, reputation will open doors for you. This is true. This is why I always say to you guys, guard your reputation because it will open doors for you. I'm telling you this. I've gotten so many offers for so long, and I just cannot do it. right? But your performance is what keeps them open. And I want to talk to the artists here too, and the aspiring artists. I want you to never forget this. Your victory from last year or 10 years ago, great. That's wonderful. You have a great reputation with that. Your performance today is what the people want, right? Your performance now is what keeps them open. These are facts. Messi walks onto every field with respect. You know why? Because of history. But nobody gives Argentina goals because of his reputation. Oh, you know what? Let me just give him let's give it 2-0 now because yeah, he scored 4 years ago. No. Every game starts at 0-0. Right? Business works the same way, buddy. Same way. Your previous success, yes, it will get you meetings. Oh, yes, Miss Julia. Oh, yeah, not your child. Okay, yeah, I saw you at that wedding. Yeah, sure. Come on in, right? But your performance today will get you paid. If you do not perform, you're not going to get paid. So you never ever rely on yesterday's accomplishments. And I find a lot of egotistical people do this. That's great. You did well. Fantastic. Can we move forward? What are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? They want to live on yesterday's accomplishments. It's gone. It's past. Stop talking to me about what you did. I want to know what you're doing now, what you're doing tomorrow. Right? Don't fall into that trap. Do not fall into that trap. Don't do it. Big up yourself, Tamar. Good afternoon, my fire brother. Good to see you. Right? So that's the same thing with Messi. Okay? Right. Leadership isn't doing everything. I told you this. Leadership is not doing everything. Right? Messi doesn't touch the ball every second. He doesn't. He trusts his teammates. He directs traffic and he influences position. No, let's look at this. Let's look at this. I remember so many times them used to cuss Messi, right? And talk about how I'm lazy, right? Reason being because all the other players would be running up and down the field. And Messi would be like walking, you know what I mean? And the rest of them would be jogging, right? And Messi would just be walking. But you know why he was doing that? And my brother, God rest his soul, taught me this. He said, if you look at what he's doing, he's mapping out everybody. He's mapping where everybody is, where the flow of the thing is. He's looking at the game differently. Whatever, it works, right? He trusts his teammates. You have to trust his teammates. What does that mean? You have to be able to trust your teammates. What does that mean? You have to be able to trust your teammates. What does that mean? You have to have people around you that you trust, that are trustworthy. That's why, again, another reason, right? It's important because you can't do everything. You have to be able to say, to lock your eye and say, you handle this for me. I know that it's going to be handled. Right? He directs the traffic. He influences position. Great CEOs eventually stop trying to be the marketing, HR, sales, accounting, customer service. Now, listen, let me put a caveat here. You must know all these things, at least the basics to the medium. You must know it. Right? And the key word here is eventually, because guess what? You see, when you're first starting out, you are all of these things. You're working, you're using all of these hats. Because you don't have any money yet to pay people to do these things properly for you. And it's good. It's good ground for you to cut your teeth on and understand these things. Right? So when you hire people, they can't tell you foolishness. Right? Good. They become leaders instead. Right? Yes. Entrepreneurs love believing this lie. Oh, if I'm good enough, everything else will work. That's wrong. Let's imagine you're the greatest salesperson in Canada. Does that mean that your accounting is great? Your customer service? No. Your cash flow? No. Being exceptional in one area never guarantees excellence everywhere else. It's true. There are certain things that I am not good at. Hard to believe, but it's true. Right? That's why I always say to you, leave the pants to the tailor. That is why it's a pet peeve for me when artists have teams around them that are not as serious as the artist. Because the artist needs to be focused on creating the art. Right? And doing what they do best. But you, the team, you have a responsibility to do whatever it is they're supposed to be doing to the best of your ability. Blessings, Baby Gaza TV. Blessings. Good to see you. Everybody check out Baby Gaza. The cutest baby. The nicest voice. And some really, really great reasoning. Big up yourself, Baby Gaza. I really like the way you spin things. right? And you were right. He did talk about God and time in every song, right? Oh, you would Messi too? Good. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Yeah, yeah, good, 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 good. You're in the right place. But a couple of my other friends them doing France and some of them salty because them team drop out. Right? Big up yourself. Yeah, man. No problem. Big up yourself. That was a really good insight. I appreciated it actually. Right? Good. Now, where was I? Right. Yeah, so you can be CEO, HR, marketing, sales, everything, social media, fulfillment, do all that stuff, and expect to be excellent everywhere because you're going to be spread too thin. Big up Francisco Tech. Big up yourself. Big up yourself, Francisco. Good to see you. Remember, you guys can call in and give me anything that you want to say about your team, any lessons that what you love about your team, or anything that you see that I've said that you don't agree with. Let me know. Let me know. I've been wrong before. Right now, this is the leadership principle. Leaders don't create dependence. We don't want people to depend on us. We have too much things to do. That's why I keep telling you. Leaders create other leaders. That's why I said to you from before. Listen, there's a certain type of people that we want over here. We want leaders, and we want people who are becoming leaders, and people who know that they have the capability to become leaders. We don't want just only for followers, right? It's fact, useful. Leaders create capability. If I am leading you and you are not capable unless I am there, then I'm not leading you. What are you? Why are you? Why are you there? Right? Your job is not to become irreplaceable. Your job is to build a company that performs even when you're on vacation, which is hard to do. It sounds easy, but it's not easy. Scaling is always hard, right? Many entrepreneurs refuse. This is the psychology behind it. Many entrepreneurs refuse to delegate because delegation feels like losing control. These are facts. As you scale too, you have to give up some control. So the easiest way for you to give up control is to trust the people around you. It's facts. If I can trust you to do the job, then I can release some control and say, okay, he will manage. He is the manager. Right? But a lot of times it's insecurity disguised as perfectionism. Maybe it's insecurity in themselves, or it's insecurity in the other people. Right? Confident leaders, we trust the systems. We test the system to see if it works. Okay, that's a system. It works. Great. Insecure leaders, they're very insecure and they want to keep everything to themselves. They want to keep the job to themselves. They want to they want to be the big boss. They only trust themselves. You know why? Because they're not trustworthy people, and they know it. That's the psychology behind it. It's facts, right? Right? Let's imagine two restaurant owners. Owner A, he personally cooks every meal. The customers love him. Business grows. Now he gets sick. What happened? The revenue drops 80%. Owner B, though, he build the recipes. He's not afraid of people thieving them. He's not afraid of the people them using it, right? Him have the training manuals. Him tell them what to do, what's going to happen if they don't do what they're supposed to do. Him build the kitchen system so that the system can work. You do this, you prep, you do this, you do that, you do that. This is the system that you must follow. So I don't have to be here to tell you. There's quality control there, right? Any trained chef can produce nearly identical food. Why? Because there's a system, there's an ingredient list, there's a method to do it. It's documented. Who built the real business? Owner B. Things need to be documented, right? I got Baby Gaza says, I wish I was able to delegate some minute tasks for my YouTube channel right now so I can focus more on important things. Delegation is good. Yes. And yes, you can. Go to Fiverr. Right, I always recommend Fiverr to upcoming entrepreneurs who want to find good work on a budget. Go there. I'll type it in the chat for you. Go there, search for what you want, right, and negotiate. You can search in the bar for what it is, what task you want to do. If it's data entry, if it's like video producing, whatever it is that you want, right? Search it in, but make sure that you choose by their reviews. I didn't mean to rhyme there. I always rhyme. Why did you do this? I don't know. Listen, you choose by the reviews. Look at the reviews, right? And read through them and look at some of their work and use them. And you get good prices there. And they're still good. They're still good. I always recommend them, right? I always recommend them. So you can delegate some tasks. It's hard. It's really, really hard. It's really hard. Like, that's why too, I was saying to myself to the other day, baby girl, I was like, man, if I really had the time to really dedicate myself to this teaching on YouTube, it would have taken off so fast, so furious, because I really love doing it. And I have so much to talk, so much to teach and talk about, right? And I'm always reading. So, and I have a lot of ideas. So, but I said to my, but at the same time, I have to do, this is like kind of like a hobby type of thing. I have to do what actually pays me. And not only that, but I have responsibility, right? So I understand what you're saying. Best up yourself, best up yourself, Trooper. Best up yourself. Hi, Skyra. Best up yourself, Trooper. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we're in Argentina. We soon pass it, but you can call in anytime. I was telling them, Trooper. You can call in anytime and let me know if you agree, disagree, or if there are any points that I missed for your team. Hi, Skyra. Good to see you. Good to see you, Skyra. Right? Now, here's my fire code. If your company only works when you show up, you don't own a business. The business owns you. These are facts. The business owns you, right? Now, greatness creates opportunity. This is the thing. This is the lesson from Messi. Greatness creates opportunity, but it doesn't guarantee victory. Messi walks onto every field with respect, right? Nobody needs convincing that he's dangerous. You know what that is? That's reputation, right? That's reputation. But once the whistle blows, nobody awards Argentina a goal because of reputation. They still have to perform. They still have to score. Business works exactly the same way. Your reputation, yeah, Miss Julia, sure, come on. They will get you invited. You have to be there, right? But your execution is what gets you paid. Do not rely only, yes, protect your reputation. It will open doors for you. But your performance is what will keep the doors open. Okay, how you calling? Oh, let me drop the link. You know, I keep on forgetting to drop the link. Let me drop the link here. You can call in anytime and give me your points. And let me start it too. Yeah, you can call in, right? So execution gets you. So here is a business example. Imagine Apple release a terrible iPhone. Will people buy it forever simply because it's Apple? No. Unless they're cultists, right? Brand equity will give you the opportunities, yes, but the product quality will keep your customers. You cannot rely on that on reputation alone, right? Here it is. Some entrepreneurs, same thing. It's an entrepreneur and an artist mistake. Julia should have put and artist. Put it now. And artists, entrepreneurs, Jules. Entrepreneurs and artists mistakes. Right. Some entrepreneurs and artists, yeah, become prisoners of past success, right? I already proved myself, maybe. But customers buy today's value, not yesterday's trophy, right? You understand? Customers buy today's value, not yesterday's trophy. Okay? I mute you, Trooper. As when I finish this these two slides, I'll hear what you have to say. Right? So this is the leadership lesson I want you to know. Never confuse respect with results. Yes, they'll respect you from history. Respect is earned from your history. Fine. But your results, that's what's earned today. That's why your team is important. Regardless of how great you are, regardless of how great you were in the back. All right? Now, I want you to think about it for yourself. How many businesses have you seen destroy decades of credibility? Think about Campbell's, what happened recently with them canned soup, right? Because they believed the reputation alone would save them. People stop buying their stuff, right? Reputation opens the door. Performance determines whether it stays open. That's my quote. Okay. Now, here's with Messi. Stop trying to be Superman. Messi doesn't touch the ball every second, right? Football is not designed that way. He's not a micromanager, right? That's what I keep telling you. Like you cannot do everything. You have to have systems. You have to have a good team. No matter how brilliant you are, there simply aren't enough touches available for you. Business works the exact same way. Time is your biggest limitation. We all have 24 hours, right? Eventually, growth stops being about your talent. It becomes about your multiplication. What does multiplication mean when I say that? That means being able to have more of you, creating more little Julias that can be at not your child corp when she's not there or when she's sick. Multiplication, right? Being able to multiply yourself and delegate tasks. You can't do everything yourself, right? Can someone else sell? Can someone else negotiate? Can someone else manage? Can someone else solve problems? Can someone else lead the meeting? If not, then growth has stopped. And you're not creating leaders. You just have people working for you. And they're not going to be loyal to you because you don't invest in them. You have to invest in people. You have to invest in your people. These are facts. And you have to create an environment for your people to learn properly. That's why you don't make people mess with your environment and test your boundaries about your environment that you create, because your environment is very important. And God bless them, some people just don't know. Sometimes people honestly don't know because they don't have the experience. But once you know, you have to know what to do. You have to protect what you have to protect. You have to protect your environment. Okay? Many founders, they create bottlenecks. Every decision wait for them. Every approval wait for them. Right? And then they bawl about, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Of course you are. Because you train everybody to wait. Right? Leadership is creating leaders, not followers. Right? This is why I told you before, we're not preoccupied with numbers. We want quality people who want to learn and want to get better. That's half the work. Okay? Control, yeah, it feels safe, but trust creates scale. You cannot have both forever. Eventually, you have to choose, and these are facts, especially when you're scaling your company, or you say you want to become a franchise, whatever it is. Yes, it feels safe to control everything, but you have to be able to trust and let go. Let the manager manage, right? You have to let go of the reins. And the only way you can do that is if you feel comfortable trusting the people around you. That is why it's so important. It's street. It goes down. It trickles down. Trooper, unmuted you. Good afternoon, my dear. Thanks for joining us. How are you, and what you have to tell me today? Hold on one second before you go. Big up, Lalibella. Big up, Lalibella. Thank you so much. Love and light to you too. We're going through the different lessons of the football. Afterwards, I'd like you guys to go back to the beginning because I was explaining why it is that entrepreneurs should look at football as more than just a sport. But go ahead, Trooper. Sorry for cutting you. Go ahead, my dear. Trooper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my partner is still yeah, that's
I
so
can't
bored
hear you.
because I'm full of wisdom teeth today.
I can't hear you there. You sound like you're underwater.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yes, I can definitely hear you now.
Okay, my son I got kind of sound muffled because I pull two wisdom teeth today. So
Oh dear.
tell me when you're not hearing me clearly, right?
Oh dear. And you still call it? Oh my goodness. Oh, how you doing? You feeling all right?
Yeah, man, my good
You feel
man,
good?
baby
All right.
thing.
That's
Yeah,
good. Yeah, man. Got you on talk, man. Take
mm.
your time. Take your time.
Yeah. So this is what word may I try use? Yeah, basically I use football as an analogy as business.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through the different teams and what I learned from them through this World Cup and from their past, and actually tie it into business lessons because they're actually very similar. They rely on the same things for championship.
Wow, this is good.
Thank you.
Um,
I
yeah.
appreciate it. But tell me
Uh,
who is your team first of all, and who you bring in and what
France.
is you are my my dad want France though. They love Mbappe,
Yeah,
you see. Yeah, France. Yeah.
yeah. But I may say I'm a baller still, but a France on my side.
Yeah, Messi is my baller too.
Mm,
Argentina, the country, because of how they've treated, all people in the past and even currently, is very very sad. They really whitewashed that nation. People should look into the history of Argentina. Argentina was mostly black. Actually, the tango was actually from the black Argentinas right? When they what they did was they systematically got rid of a lot of the black people in Argentina. Why? How? When they conscript them first, when they went to war, they put them in the front line, kill off most of them, right? There's a whole history to it. They wanted to whitewash Argentina, and they were largely successful in that, and that is why that racism still exists. But I'm telling you, if they shake their family trees a little bit harder, trust me, one of us will definitely fall out of it. You can't undo history, no matter how much you try to whitewash it. But regardless of all of that, right? Messi is still my baller. Let's continue. But I want you guys to look at the history of Argentina, and the tango belongs to the black Argentinas. Thank you very much. Let's continue. What you have to say, Trooper?
Yeah, so pertaining to business, like me not gonna be too familiar with the terms and stuff like that,
That's okay. That's all
basically,
right. Yeah.
but yeah, I do a good job. Me actually sitting here and learning from where I project. Yes, I mean
Thank you.
more I know my name. How long it take if you like um create all of this?
Long. It takes a long time because it takes more than one day. Because as soon as I get the idea, right, then I start writing because I like to physically write first. I like to write things down. So writing, I write it down while I go through the day, and then sometimes when I go for a walk, I write, think and write, and then I just dedicate, like say, probably 4 or 5 hours to just sit down and push it all out, right? And then I use the Google Slides and beautify it with the Google Slides. So I use the Gemini to beautify it and stuff like that. But I don't really want to tell too much of my process, but
No, no,
but the
no,
thing is,
no,
the thing is,
no.
I really is it doesn't. Let me explain it this way. It doesn't feel laborious because of the fact that I would be reading anyway. I'd be thinking anyway. It's just a matter of me just writing it out and getting excited to tell you about it. So it doesn't feel like really work, like as if you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm going to read anyway. Like that's my
Yeah.
hobby. You see what I'm saying? I'm an
Mm-hmm.
introvert. I like to stay in my yard anyway. So that's mostly what I do. You see what I'm saying? So this is the fun part of actually bringing you guys along with the journey. You see what I'm saying? I'm feeling like I'm actually adding value to people. You understand what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Thank you. But thank you very much. I really appreciate your kudos, and like you're very balanced too. And I met you over Dancehall War. Big up Dancehall War for his platform too.
Yeah, big up
Right?
dance hour.
Definitely. He's a good person. Good person. So like and I listen to you over there and stuff like that, and you have a really reasonable and balanced mind, and you never lose you don't lose your temper like most people. So I appreciate that about you. So Lalibella, they're talking to you. He said, "Is this trooper from over dancehall war? Hail at the Ombre, where you use the R&D ex cathedra. Big up Dean Marshall. Hi, Dean Marshall. The prefect is here, Dean Marshall. The prefect is here. Yeah, so Lalibella was just hailing you up. But
Yeah, man,
listen,
bless up yourself, laddie, bro.
so if you think about McDonald's, Ray Kroc didn't just build one incredible restaurant. He built the system, the franchising.
Assisting. Yeah.
Right. The system is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's thousands of ordinary people could repeat. All of them can go and open a franchise. Same uniform, same chicken nuggets, same way you put a lettuce, same thing. It's a system. That's why McDonald's.
From the stove to the window in a 1 minute, right?
That's there you go. Well, I don't know how it is for health wise, but hey, it's called fast food for a reason. It's
Fast
fast,
food, yeah.
right?
Definitely, yeah.
So Messi, he wins matches, but systems will win the decades. Now, pressure reveals hidden weaknesses, and this is what we saw in the World Cup a lot, right? Nobody knows where a football team is weak. I want you to think about it. Nobody knows where a football team is weak until they have elite opposition attacking it, right? Business is exactly the same way. A booming economy, it will hide poor leadership. High demand, it might hide customer service. Hold on. My finger did that. Oop. Yeah. Might hide customer service. It's true. Easy sales is hides weak marketing, right? Cheap money, it hides poor financial discipline. Then pressure come. And then suddenly everyone say, what happened? Nothing happened. The pressure revealed what was already there. That's why some people did not even last the pandemic. Well, the pandemic was rough, and I know a lot of good businesses that went down under. So let me not say that, but when it came, it showed when people started to panic. Some people only had 6 months of runway, so they panicked immediately. Some people felt sure because they had 1 year of runway and they thought that this is not going to last more than 6 months. I'm good. And then when the 6 months hit and them still masking up and then putting tape on the floor still, they start to panic. Some people had 2 years of runway, right? Some people say, you know what? I don't have any runway. I need to pivot. And them start to sell sanitizer and start to sell masks and start to sell globes. These are facts. I know them. Some of them are my really, really great associates, right? Right? But you must ask, what happens if my biggest client leaves? What happens if I get sick? Can they carry on? What happens if my top employee resign or somebody steal them? Champions prepare before disaster arrives. You have to prepare before the disaster comes, right? I want you to ask yourself this question. If you disappeared for 30 days starting tomorrow, would your business grow? Would it survive? Or will it collapse? Be honest. I have to ask myself and be honest about this every year. And let me tell you something. Sometimes, some years it change because of the fact that sometimes you lose people. It's facts. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It's good that you can ask the question and you can be honest with yourself. That's why I tell you, business will make you get real honest with yourself real fast. So I'm saying? Now, Argentina summary. Argentina isn't really teaching us about Messi. It's teaching us about founders. Every entrepreneur, yeah, you begin as the star. You're the star. But every entrepreneur must eventually become the builder. Messi's genius, it inspires. But it's Argentina's organization that determines whether that genius becomes a championship. They must be organized. They must have the systems. The exact same thing is true in business. Your talent will start the journey, and you artists is the same thing. Your talent will start the journey, but your systems will determine how far it goes. Who is your marketing? How does it work? Who answers to who? Who is supposed to make sure that you get the venue? Who is supposed to ensure, say, you have the dancers them? Who is supposed to ensure that the thing dropped properly, the rollout went properly? We need to name them. We need to name it. Right? This is my final Argentina thought. Fire Nation, don't spend your life trying to become the Messi of your industry. Spend your life building the Argentina that can win because of great leadership, your great systems. I'm talking about the entrepreneurs here, right? Your great culture, your great execution. One day, your greatest competitive advantage, it will not be your talent. It's facts. Because there's more talented people being born every day, more beautiful women being born every day. It will be the organization that you build around your talent, that you build around your success. The people, the systems. Champions don't just produce stars. Champions produce systems that allows other stars to shine. You have to produce systems. Big up Seminar of Music. That's right. Big up TG Media, my brother. Big up Philip. Big up. So now we're gonna go into the closing for them, right? Right? We need to stop trying to be superhuman as entrepreneurs. We need to start learning how to build something that don't require us to be superhuman. At the first part, yes, it's going to take a lot of energy. At the first part, yes, it's going to feel like as if you have to be superhuman, but it shouldn't be that way after a while. You have to be building the systems to help carry you. The strongest entrepreneurs, we don't carry the whole entire business. You have to be able to build a system that can help to carry itself. That doesn't mean that you don't watch and you don't watch like a hawk and make sure that everything is running. You do. But you need the systems. Because even the GOAT, Messi, he still needs, what does he need? He needs 11 more. It's facts. Now we're going to go into France. Are there any France people here? Are the France people? Yeah. France, we're getting into France now. And now, this is what I see with France, the business of building dynasties, right? France is something. Let me ask you guys something, Fire Nation. What's more impressive? Becoming successful once or becoming successful over and over and over again? I know a lot of people don't like Vibes Cartel, but hey. Anyway,
Um,
all right, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there.
yeah,
I'm not gonna
depends.
troll them. I'm not gonna troll them. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
troll them.
yeah.
All right, all right, all right. I'm gonna
Anyway,
continue with the lesson.
make I interject.
Yeah. Of course, go
Yeah,
through.
man. It depends. It depends on where you're going at business for start with. Isn't it? Because you have enough people we create business and um we name like say for instance most of these app and tech companies, most of them create them type of business model there for basically sell.
Of course, every business,
So
every business have an exit strategy.
yeah, so it just
Mhm.
depends on why your goal going in,
What your goal
because
is.
if your goal is to sell, you can say alright then me okay with just being successful one time. But if your goal is to like build like generational wealth and stuff like that, then you have to think more long term in that process.
Trooper, I'm going to push back at you because it's a
Yeah.
misconception,
Yeah
right?
man, we are
But
listen man.
that's a great thought, though. That's a really, really great thought. But it's a misconception. And I used to think that too until I had to do a workshop on becoming ready to sell the business. Let me tell you, they look for certain things. They look for it to be something that they want to buy. So your wins and your successes over and over, it helps you to sell it at a higher price. It helps the valuation of your company, right? Your client portfolio helps your evaluation, right? How much you sell, your profit helps your evaluation, right? How much your company is worth, how much it's going to be sold for, right? You can't, I mean, you can't just say I'm just going to win one time because I'm going to plan to sell it. No, you have to keep winning. Why? Because you have to make it attractive for people to want to buy it. And the thing is this, every business thinks about their exit strategy. Sometimes the exit strategy is handing it over to your children, but you need to have a plan B because maybe your children won't be good at it, or your children might not want it, or your children are rich enough to feel like F all, I don't care about this, or your children resent it. It happens so many. I see so many people go through that, right?
Yeah,
Guess what? Your plan B is going to be you can't do it forever. You're going to have to sell it. So, in order to make it attractive, you better have those wins. So the wins are always it's always competitive. Nobody want to buy a lemon, right? And even but no, if you have where I've seen it work is if you have certain intellectual property that can be reproduced, it's because it's intellectual property, certain things, right? And then somebody see the potential in your business and your business have a bad reputation. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to buy it cheap. They're going to change the name. They're going to change the logo. So it's going to be it's going to be like a brand new business. But when they buy it from you, they buy all the property as well. Right? So it becomes their own. So that can work in that way. You see what I'm saying? But
yeah,
you never ever go into business just thinking, oh, I can F all and because I'm just going to sell it. No, no, no. It's never a just going to sell it. It's never a just. Even
what
you
about
understand? Yeah. Go to.
what about the scenarios where a competitor, because we're seeing this as well, but
Mm-hmm,
where I say a facts, yeah,
mm-hmm,
definitely, man, I push back in a way I say, but you have
mm-hmm,
scenarios where competitors buy out other competition and basically
mm-hmm,
that business completely. Them
mm-hmm.
make them go extinct as
Yeah.
soon as themselves. So
Mm-hmm. That's
what
true
you
too.
think about in situations like that?
Well, this is the thing. It depends on the seller too. Some people will not sell to you unless them can see that okay, you're going to carry this further. Let me see your plans for the business to carry it on because it's so important and it helps so many people. And I can't leave my customers in the lurch, right? So some
Right.
people want to actually see what it is that you're going to do with it as a part of the agreement, right? Especially if say their family name is attached to it, right? Like say
Right.
right, but when you say, like, some people, will just buy it to do that. People do nefarious things all the time. And if somebody just really wants to get out of the company and don't give two hoots, and it's like, okay, you're going to give me 2 million, I can go off and go to Mexico. Sure. Do whatever you want to do with it. Burn it to the ground. Here, give me my 2 million, you're gone. And so that can happen too. But people have all different types of reasons, nefarious reasons sometimes, for doing things. And yeah, sometimes it's to kill the competition or to merge them. Who knows, right? You never know why people do it. But the point of the matter is, as an entrepreneur, you need to make sure that you're in the best position possible, so you can decide whether you want to sell or not sell. You never ever move from desperation, ever. They can
Yeah,
smell it. They can smell it.
definitely.
They can smell it, right? And even if it's a good product, the fact that you're desperate, they will barter you all the way down. It's facts. It's facts. So Lalibela said, Miss Blue, your expression are particular in savant capacity. Thank you for the few in many. Oh, thank you so much, Lalibela. Whenever you speak, you're teaching. Blessing, blessing. Everybody, you guys can call in and hear what we have to say about your team. So listen, let's talk about France again, right? Anyone can have one great year. Anyone can build one successful company. Anyone can hire one superstar employee. But what separates great organizations from legendary organizations is their ability to reproduce excellence. That's why I loved studying France this football season. France doesn't simply produce stars, they produce generations of stars, right? And entrepreneurs should pay very close attention, because the wealthiest companies in the world, they don't build heroes. They have the systems that consistently produce them, even through the vetting of them, right? Some companies, they will produce one Apple. Some companies, they'll produce one Elon Musk, one Steve Jobs, but France does something different. They don't just produce stars, they manufacture excellence, right? Entrepreneurs, we need to understand the difference. Because if your business depends on one superstar, you don't own a company, you own a liability. These are facts. Anything can happen. They can get hit by a bus tomorrow, right? So, what we're going to do now, we're going to talk about France. Let's study France, the game lesson. France, this is what I say about France. And anybody want to disagree, call in and disagree. Quiet efficiency beats loud chaos. These are facts. Business and in sports. Game lesson. France beats Paraguay 1-0, 1-0. Not flashy. Wasn't dramatic. Just enough to survive. Okay, great. Here's the business lesson. Not every win has to be loud. Some entrepreneurs, they are obsessed with looking successful. They have the biggest car, the biggest office, the biggest this, instead of being operationally solid. Right? France teaches us that mature winners don't always need attention. What we need results. Okay? Here's the mindset lesson. Discipline often looks boring before it looks powerful. It's facts. Right? It's facts. Just like the other day, somebody said to me, "Why you read so much?" And then in the next breath, she said to me, How you know all that stuff?" You just answer your same question in the same paragraph. Why you're going to criticize me? Ask me why I read so much. Then you're going to say to me, "Why you know so much?" I know so much because I read so much. Yes, it look boring to you, but then afterwards, what comes from the reading, it look powerful to you. No, luckily, I just like to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what I want people to understand, right? Discipline is important, right? Here's the entrepreneurship takeaway. A business that quietly collects invoices, you keep your customer happy, you keep your costs low. You don't have to have the most of everything, the most shiniest, this, right? You manage your cash flow properly. You have to have cash flow. Let me tell you, entrepreneurs, we love liquidity. We don't care about if you can splurge, that's fine. Enjoy your wealth, but make sure you have the wealth to enjoy it. We don't care about big flashy car, and we want to make sure that if an opportunity come, we can jump on it. Right? We have to ensure that we have some kind of runway. Right? Once we manage cash flow and you improve every financial month, that's stronger than flashy brands making noise online. Right? We're going to talk about France and Portugal. Right? We're going to talk about where the elite organizations outperform elite individuals. How legacy can become a liability. This is something that I want people to listen to and understand, especially you artists. Legacy can become a liability, and I'll explain how. Why succession planning, like what Trooper was just talking about, your exit strategy, why it matters. Why patching the torch matters. That's why these people who call themselves leaders and they're so greedy and they want to hug everything and they have to be the one that shine and they can't give anybody any praise and they'll steal people content and not give them credit. People like that, right, always end up losing. Nothing that they build lasts. Because succession planning matters. You need to build leaders. You need to be able to rely on people, right? And what founders can learn about building companies that outlive them. You need to be like, well, if you want, or you sell it, as you said, right? Now, France defeated Paraguay 1-0. The casual fans, it looked like an ordinary victory. Great. But entrepreneurs, we need to look at something completely different. Championship organizations understand that every win doesn't have to be spectacular. Sometimes professional, efficient, and disciplined is enough. Right? Lalibela said efficient. Exactly. Not every quarter in business will be record breaking. It's facts. Right? Sometimes your quarter improved by hundreds of dollars, just hundreds. Sometimes the objective is simple, just to protect the profits. And you know what? Sometimes your objective, like during the pandemic, is just simple to just survive. Especially if you have a business that does events and there's no events. Right? Sometimes right now, your objective is just to survive, to keep the lights on. Sometimes your objective is to protect your culture. Now, this is something important. As you build what you're building, you need to protect your culture. A lot of that is your environment. What is it that you're going to allow in your space? What is it that you're going to reward in your space? What is it that you're going to have a sharp thing and say, no, that cannot be in my space? You know why it's important? And bless their hearts, a lot of people don't know. And so sometimes they make folly, stupid mistakes. It's fact. But if you know better, you do better. You know why? Protecting your environment protects the culture of what it is that you're building. It protects your momentum. It's fact. Hi, Same Flame. Good to see you. I'm glad to see you, Same Flame. The bright boy can reach late, eh? Big up yourself, Same Flame. Good to see you. And you can call in anytime. So champions understand the assignment, right? France constantly produces world-class players. Why? Because they have a system for that. They don't have a superstar factory. They have a talent factory. They bring out the best in people, right? Do not build a business that depends only on you. Build one that creates excellence repeatedly. Anyone can have one amazing employee, right? But can you consistently develop amazing employees? You have to develop people. That's culture. You see the best in people. You bring it out of them. You reward them. You help them through. Somebody helped you too, you know. Right? Depth beats brilliance. It's facts. France loses elite players all the time. And guess what? Another elite player step in. As one gone, the next one born. You have to have the depth. Businesses fail because they only have one superpower person that knows, oh, one person doing marketing, one person on payroll, one person. So if one employee leaving destroys your company, you don't have a business. You have a dependency. Okay? You have a dependency. Hi, Warren. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm going to unmute you soon. I'm going to unmute you very soon. 1 second. Right? Here is lesson 3. You must prepare before your crisis. France doesn't look for replacements after injuries. No. They already have them lined up ready, waiting just in case of an injury. Successful entrepreneurs build, we have emergency funds, backup suppliers, succession plans, SOPs. What is that? Standard operation systems. Sorry, standard operating systems or procedures. SOP, SOS, same thing. Standard operational procedures, SOPs. That's a system that you teach them, and then the manager can teach the new people, right? Before we need them, right? Lalibela says legacy preservation, legacy systems drag innovation, inertia, reduce adaptability. That's what it leads to. That's right. That is the flow, right? Your systems will outlive superstars. Now, this might be the single greatest lessons that entrepreneurs can learn from France. Ask yourself, why does France keep producing elite footballers generation after generation? How them able to do that? They don't rely on luck. They have an infrastructure. They have training academies. They have youth developments. Julia, why is this youth development? Hold on. I know what you did. I bet you. Yes. See how I know yourself? Maybe because you are me and I am you. There you go. Sorry. Youth development. Sometimes, chupa, don't mind. Sometimes people hear me talk to myself here. That's just how it is. Youth, and this, I better do the same thing. Scouting. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Scouting. Training academies, youth development, scouting, right? Coaching philosophy, national identity. They have all of this. They have the infrastructure. That's why I tell you, for dancehall to grow, we need infrastructure. For dancehall to grow and be taken seriously, we need to have our own charts. Even that, we need some infrastructure to be able to compete. And I will keep saying this until I'm blue in the face. No pun. Yeah, you know what? Pun intended. Damn it. Everything is designed long before the. Sorry. Sorry, sorry. They have stay by myself too much. You know, I'll give myself a joke. Everything is designed long before the player reaches the national team. Right? Entrepreneurs often make the opposite mistake. They celebrate hiring one amazing employee instead of asking, why can't we consistently produce amazing employees? I don't know. Maybe your environment sucks. Maybe your workplace culture sucks. Maybe you have bullies that because they're superstar, you give them preference over people who are actually trying. Right? There's a whole lot of reasons. Warren, I'm gonna unmute you. You can say what you want to say, my dear. If you have anything that you want to say to us about your team or France or Argentina or anything at all that you want to add, you can unmute and add.
Well, firstly, good evening, everyone. Hope you
Good
guys are hearing me
good evening. We can
properly.
hear you a bit.
Bless up, bless up, bless up, man.
Yeah, I'm doing my usual exercise, but I decided that I couldn't miss the program.
Okay,
No,
thank you. Mm-hmm.
I like what you're doing overall. I mean, I usually tell my colleagues that our sport's not just for entertainment; it's also strategy.
That's right.
Now, a number of these things, as you mentioned, these guys have systems in place from grassroots level. So
That's
it's a
right.
culture. You know,
That's right.
not to knock what we do here because we do have a lot of systems, even if it wasn't so much thought of as a system. Because if you look at what we do with champs, for example, right? If you look at so many cultural icons in music specifically that we produce, what is missing now is the additional layer to that system because it's a case where sometimes there's so many of us, everyone is pointing fingers to say, oh, make that person do it. Why, why they, for example, not to really name call, but why the most popular family don't do it? Why the government and the culture minister don't do it? Why me and you don't do it? The fact of the matter is, if we all see through sometimes very different lenses, but sometimes it just takes one person to move the needle, and then I don't want to call anybody bandwagonists or followers, but the truth is you'll have other people now trying to replicate similar success because they've been seeing it happen. And I can say I've been observing, especially some labels, some particular artists that have been doing quite, you make it seem very quiet because a lot of things happen, not so much in isolation, but it don't happen overnight. It's incremental steps. Everybody will come and marvel at what you achieve when the achievement is completed. However, they don't usually see the little steps. Sometimes they are big steps, but they're large enough seen. And so, in terms of the connecting the dots with the football, my team is Germany. They dropped out early, but again, that's one of the primary reasons I supported the team. The team was one of the earlier European nations that you started seeing inculcating diversity, black players, not just black players, but they have a lot of mixed racial players, players from this Turkish heritage. There are players from Austria, elsewhere. The team is a lot more diverse than we think. And so I believe that diversity is not just people's racial background or skin tone, but their ideas. And all ideas matter. putting those together, you are getting that I would consider multicultural identity, and comes out in the strategy and the execution, and ultimately you see it in the outcomes. So
Right.
that's my
So
two
so
cents.
so I agree with most of what you said, but I think you probably misunderstood what I said when I said culture. When I say culture, I don't mean the individual player's culture, the culture of the country. What I mean is the culture of the team, the culture of the business, the culture of the office, the culture of the organization. So
Yeah,
that
man,
is
I
where
get
I'm
that, man.
tying it. Okay, good. I'm just
Yeah, man,
making
I
sure that
get
that's what
that.
we're
Yeah, man.
tying it.
Yeah,
But
man.
Warren, I'm going to tell you something though. You sound terrible. It sounds like as if a sprinkler. It sounds like water running. That's better
So
actually.
the
That is
I had on
actually,
the headphones.
yeah.
I
That
had
was
on the
terrible.
headphones as well.
That was
Yeah.
terrible.
So
Okay,
my bad. So I wanted to know first if you guys were hearing me properly. But
we
yeah,
were.
I mean generally the gist of what I'm saying is that you know there divergent views, but all views matter. We put those together, and you get that melting pot. And I think that is one of the things that the French, because they do have their issues. They do have a lot of issues overall as a cultural identity as a country. But when you see them on the football field, it's one team, one dream, and so
Exactly.
we have to now take sort of lessons from that and make our team,
That's
in this
right.
case, yeah,
Exactly right.
music. Yeah.
Exactly right. But what I'm saying about the system, it's still standing. I will still stand on that,
And I agree.
especially when it
Yeah,
comes to the dancehall and reggae
yeah,
music
man, I
and
agree with
music
you.
in period. Okay, good. All right. So I'm gonna pass the mic and then we're gonna finish this part and I'm gonna hear from you guys. We're almost finished with this part. Same flame or Sean, is there anything that you want to say at all about the lessons or about your team and any lessons that you anything that you noticed from your team? Big up Dented, back of the class. All right, let's continue. So now,
You know
yo,
what,
sorry, go
listener?
ahead. Got
You
you.
hearing me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you
Yeah,
perfectly.
man. Big up everybody with on the platform. My team specifically like, in this World Cup is Argentina. Mainly because of Messi, by the way. So make that very clear.
Yeah.
Mainly because of Messi. When Messi retire, I will revert back to my original team. But we'll get that out of the way. You see?
Yeah,
So
no.
what you always can learn from Argentina is it really obvious. Never give up. Down to the last second, you still have to fight. Once there is time on the clock, you have to make every single time count on the clock because Argentina got their first goal in the 78th minute while everyone was celebrating. The whole world was celebrating up until the 78th minute.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows that when you are down, no one going to call out the blatant injustice against you even when it visible. But
Mm-hmm.
soon as they start win, everyone now start dig up all things and say, look upon this, look upon that. That did happen. So him should have been that successful. This did happen. And that's what they are doing to Argentina right now. So you can't just take that as a life lesson.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that same flame. I like that. Thanks for that, buddy. Yeah, I like that. Sean, you're new to the panel. Is there anything you want to say before I move on, my dear?
Yeah, man. Bless up everybody, man. I don't know.
Big up. Wait there. This is my option from
Oh,
TikTok.
I network this.
Yes, my network.
I
Hey,
network.
what?
Well
We buy
done.
a lot
Our, net,
of we buy a
our
lot.
network,
We got
our
to
network
buy.
reach over here, dog.
What do you mean? That's a must be network.
Yo, a special invitation, to
What
you,
you
A
man.
say?
Jamaica, a
Sean,
Yeah.
Jamaica inside, you know.
Oh, man. A
big up
friend some side
yourself.
still. A
Big
friend
up
A
some
true
side.
yourself.
palupa. Yo, France on their side, man.
Um, you love rivalry too much, man. Miss, Miss, see a thing on the internet, Miss Julia. I don't know if it's true. Where
Wow.
they must say about the game with Argentina and Egypt yesterday.
What them say?
Like it was a play or something like that. Messi,
Not no go so,
Messi
not
to
no go so,
surface.
not no go so.
We
People
must say
put
we
out
go
that, man.
review about the whole thing. I
Not
don't
no
know.
go, not no go so, man. Match done where name. I done set already
Eh,
for Saturday them and Switzerland, brother. No
yeah,
listen to them.
yeah,
Oh,
man. I see that too, but I told them, I see that thing there.
me not see that.
Uh,
Me never see it,
Yeah,
Sean.
yeah. Yeah,
No,
man.
sir. That's somebody put out that they go
Egypt
viral, man.
already home
Why?
already.
Well, it got really viral because I see it over 400,000 in
Mm,
2 hours. So that's why I really I say, eh.
Miss
you
Julia,
might
may
be
have
right.
something. Miss Julia, may have something for say, but not now. Me no want disrupt the
All
lesson
right,
right
all right.
now.
No,
But
whenever you're ready. Whenever
operating
you're ready.
into the lesson same way.
Yeah, all right. Whenever you're
Not
ready.
now.
Not right. All right. But Sean, I'm gonna ask you, Sean. Who you bringing, Sean? Who you bringing?
No, I really France from my side now from
One
98.
wagon
Brazil are
it.
the original
One
team.
wagon
But
it.
France from 98, we have a isn't it France?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
know.
Two
You
team you
sound like
have there.
you
A two
sound
team you
like
have
you
like me
sound
then.
like a mission. 'Cause I know say all like Jamaican them grew up
Yeah, man, we support
born
France.
as Brazilian fans.
Mm-hmm.
90 at
Yeah,
98 me switch. At
Jamaica played the
98 me
first
switch
World
to
Cup and
man.
won the World Cup in France. So from this, so we kind of
yeah.
really know much
Me
thing
too,
about France,
trooper.
isn't it?
Me too, trooper.
Which 2000
Brazil
and
first.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, well,
98,
that is it.
98, 98 me switch, man. And you see peel out head, man. I kill off people. We switch.
Ah,
Grenadines,
that
yes,
is
I know.
funny. All right, I'm gonna ask you. What do you think about what Dented said? Dented said them rob
20, I
Egypt
think.
blind.
And France have a very good side. Very, very great side actually. See, and them have a far, far way to go and them will go straight to the final. So we meet them at the final again.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Lalibela says, Miss Bluefire, I categorically agree with your argument at the abstract level. However, far be it from me to say, but France, being the former metropole, is benefiting largely at its former colonies. What might this so? Dented here. Everybody's there? And can hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, good. I'm gonna continue. Right? Right. So great leaders don't build businesses that depend only on exceptional people. We build environments that create exceptional people and keep exceptional people. Julia, you should put create exceptional people and keep them. Yeah, that's what you should write. And keep, not kept, keep them. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. So it's facts. Here's the psychology. Many founders secretly hope to find their perfect employee. It's facts. I was the same, right? Elite organization ask a different question. What kind of environment creates excellence? That is why you have to guard your space like this. This is why, right? You have to be very firm about certain things that you allow in your environment. And your environment is not only your physical environment, anything that you're creating. Okay. Environment often beats talent. It's true. And guess what? It will beat a talent. If you're a talented person and the environment is terrible, guess what? You're going to move. You're going to go somewhere else. It's facts, right? Now, I want you guys to ask. Hold on. Yeah, no, I don't like this. Yeah. Okay. Here's my quote. Don't build a company full of stars. Build a company that creates stars. Now, depth is your insurance policy. One injury, one suspension, one retirement, that should never destroy a whole organization, right? France has repeatedly shown that when one world-class player is unavailable, another world-class player is ready to take the space. It's true. Business owners really think this way. It's facts. Because we're naturally optimistic, right? They think I'll deal with it when it happens, right? Champions prepare before disaster arrives. We need to be able to do that as entrepreneurs, right? Him saying never. I get you. Yeah. Yeah, because myself like but I see it. Right? Now, suppose your bookkeeper quits. Can someone else immediately take over? What about your warehouse manager? What even resign? Can operations still continue? Right? Does your marketing stop if your social media disappears, social media manager disappears? If the answer is yes, you have confused people with systems. Don't do this. I did this in my early years. I did this. I put the system to the people, right? And then I was always scrambling, right? And it wasn't that these people were unreliable. I couldn't cuss them and say, oh, them unreliable. Look at them leave me. No, you know why? Because life happens. People, family die. Stuff happens, right? It's facts. I had to learn this the hard way. So I don't want you to have to learn it the hard way, right? Here, psychology, the preparation, it always looks expensive. It's true. Until the emergency arrives. I don't like to pay car insurance. I cannot stand it. I've never had an accident since I started to drive. Since I was in 16. Since I was 16, I've never caused an accident. Let me put it that way. Right? Since I started to drive. And I learned to drive in Jamaica on a stick shift. Right? But I have to pay so much in insurance up here. But guess what? I don't want to get into no accident and don't have it. Suddenly the insurance is priceless. Right? Most entrepreneurs only create backup plans after the experience failure. You can't do that. France builds the backup before the first whistle blows. That's what we can respect about France. Right? Hope is not a business strategy. That's my quote. Preparation is. You have to prepare. Even though we're naturally optimistic, we always think that it's going to work out. We do. And most of the times we're lucky and we like to test it. That's just, and we like the thrill of it. It's facts because there's certain characteristics that make us or how we are. It's true. Right? But this is where you have to have the discipline. You need to prepare. Okay. Anybody have anything you want to add to this at all? And the culture of the team beats the motivation. Right? People ask, how do they keep on producing winners? How? Because of culture. Right? Culture is invisible, until the pressure arrives. You'll see what happens, how people.
I was just
Yeah,
about
I can't hear you. Say?
I wanted to add something as well.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
In reference to even my team, I think Germany played well throughout the tournament, but they needed a little bit of luck. So sometimes preparation, you can prepare all you want and you can execute, but sometimes you need a little luck too, you know?
Say again, you need a little love.
Yeah, sometimes you need a little luck because sometimes we believe that it's just by our hard work, we're going to be successful, and then put in all of that hard work and it doesn't work out, and we throw in the towel right after. And I've seen entrepreneurs done that time in, time out. I too have had my own fair share of experiences that, I realize that sometimes I need a little bit more than just, you know, just hard work. Hard work needs a little bit of luck sometimes.
Yeah, but the thing
You
is,
know.
yeah, luck is important. Luck is very, like, I consider myself very lucky because I'm very lucky, but I do help myself to be lucky. You can't
No,
help
Yeah.
yourself to
that's
be
without
lucky.
a
Just
doubt. That's what I'm
just
saying.
there.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
Just
that
there. So
you
that
have to prepare. It
there's a
can't be just that you're expecting
yeah
things to just drop in a lot. But all
no,
I'm saying is that, sometimes when you put in all of that work and you expect to get a certain result, you don't always get the result. So
of
you
course.
have to kind of just,
there's a
wait it out.
That's right.
there's a famous quote that
That's right.
says luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
You get me?
You have to be
So
prepared. That's right.
you have to prepare.
100%, 100%. And also too, listen, I'm going to say to Warren for what he said, right? Yes, this is, I want people, and I want Fire Nation, and from the first lives that I ever did, right? And the books that we were teaching before, I want you guys to reframe failure. You put in all that effort and it did not work. That is data. I want you guys to start to see failure as data. Get excited about it because it's another way that you won't fail if you figure it out. So figure out why you failed, why it didn't work. Try something else. Make it a game. And understand that this is just your journey. You consider it your journey, right? So when you fail and when you feel down and when you feel out, it's part of the journey. But you continue. You don't stop. Because if you stop, that is guaranteed failure. Guaranteed 100% failure, right? But if you embrace the journey and know that, okay, that didn't work, let me try it again, just like a video game. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try it this way. right? Big up success over hype, my sister. Good afternoon, my sister. Greetings and honor to you, success over hype. Good to see you, my beautiful sister, right? So, how people always ask, how do they compete? It's culture. Culture is invisible until the pressure arrives. Culture determines how hard people train. Listen, Speedos, why Speedos culture was hard, man. It was good. We train hard. We respond to criticism a certain way because there was the culture of the team. Blue Seals was the same thing too, right? Whether we sacrifice, whether we blame, whether we improve, culture determines everything. Culture determines everything. Okay? Culture determines everything, right? Here is a business example. Imagine two companies, pardon me, both lose their biggest customer. Company A blames the economy, the customer, the marketing, the employees. Company B asks, what can we improve? Guess which company eventually becomes stronger? The one that asks the right question. Pardon me. And that is why I train people who work with me or people who learn from me, and even you, Fire Nation, to always be solution-based thinking. That is the first, one of the main ingredients in leadership. Okay? Find out why and let's fix it. Psychology. People naturally drift towards comfort. It's facts. We didn't want to be in the pool at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's cold. Culture, though, the culture of 6 o'clock, we wet in the pool, that pulls us towards the excellence, because guess what? You're a part of Speedos, you're a part of Blue Seals. You're going to need to perform. Everybody's in the pool by 6. Why aren't you? Right? Pardon me. That's the culture that will pull you to excellence. So this is why it's important. Miss Julia, I am glad I catch this live. Just woke up as 1:36 a.m. my time. Oh, blessings, success. I didn't. Oh, bless you. I'm glad to have you here, my dear. Glad to have you here. Sorry about the timing, my dear. Wow. But I'm glad to have you. Pardon me. Something tickling my throat, Fire Nation. I don't know what it is. All right. So ask your question. What kind of culture are you building? That is why you have to guard your environment the way you have to guard your environment, right? One where excuses and lies and scams spread, or one where accountability spreads, like where people own up and say, you know what? I was wrong. I did that. I lied. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry about it. No accountability. Hey, the fish start to stink from the head, you know. The fish starts to stink from the head. Now, consistency is sexier than greatness. It is. Everyone loves spectacular wins. But you know what, Julia? Greatness is a part of for you to be great, you have to be consistent. So I should put then one time greatness. Yeah. Everyone loves spectacular wins, right? The champions, though, we love consistency. France teaches us something that Wall Street already understands. Predictability creates value. It's facts, especially in business. Predictability. Let me tell you why. Investors, they don't want one incredible quarter. Just the same thing that me and Trooper was talking about when you're talking about selling your company. We don't want to just see one incredible quarter followed by a disaster. We want to see it growing or at least steady, right? Customers don't want excellence once. That's why sometimes you go someplace and they're like, how is the food there? You're like, oh, it's hit and miss, man. Some days it's like on point and some days it's like, right? We don't, until you don't trust it. You don't want excellence once. You want excellence every time. Okay? Every time. Right? Here's the psychology behind it. People underestimate consistency because it's not exciting. Yeah, you can get excitement. Get it somewhere else. Go mermaiding. You need stability where you need stability. You need reality where you need reality. When it's time for fun and fantasy, then it's time for fun and fantasy, baby. But when it's time for reality and numbers, it's time for reality and numbers. Don't mix the two. Right? right? Fortunes and championships are built through repetition. Why? Why, Miss Julia? Why do you say this? Why? Because don't forget compound interest. It's the same thing with your money. Compound interest, right? Repetition. That's the same thing that makes you disciplined. Your routine, repetition. You don't have to think about it. You get up, your shoes are there, your tights is there, your shirt is there. You get ready, you go straight to the gym. Everything is laid out, it's right there. Repetition. You just get up, you automatically do it. You don't even think about it. Right? Don't chase viral, chase reliable. This is important. And don't even chase, but do reliable. Right? Reliable matters. France reminds entrepreneurs that sustainable success is engineered. It's not wished for. You can't wish for what success, for what France did or France is. It's engineered. It's an ecosystem that's their greatest strength, right? Business works exactly the same way. Great organizations don't depend on just or don't only depend on extraordinary people. They consistently develop them. Okay? So now we're going to talk about it, right? The richest companies, they don't ask, who is our next superstar? They ask, how do we build a system that can keep producing these superstars? How can I build a system that keeps a culture intact that will keep my superstars wanting to come back here? How do I keep these people so the headhunters who get paid a fortune don't steal my people because they're loyal to me? You need systems. You need to protect your environment. You need to protect your culture. Okay? These are facts. It needs to be, what do I always say? There's a reason I always say it, sustainable. Okay? Good. Right? Now we're going to learn from Portugal when legacy becomes your biggest competitor. This is the problem with Portugal. Their legacy became a liability. Anybody disagree with me, you can come in. Right? Their legacy, right, became their liability. Now, let's talk about one of the hardest lessons. One of the hardest lessons every entrepreneur eventually learns. Yes, success changes you. Recognition does change you. Fame does change you. Money doesn't change you. Money reveals who you are. Power reveals who you are. But just the success, it will make you more careful. It's supposed to, or it can make you more careless. Depends on who you are, right? But if you're not careful, yesterday's success quietly becomes tomorrow's limitation. Why? Portugal gives us one of the greatest business lessons of this World Cup. Sometimes your biggest opponent isn't another company. It's the version of yourself that refuses to evolve. Not because, this is why I keep telling you guys this, not because something worked 2 years ago means it's going to work today. Things don't happen in a vacuum, people. Change is constant. Things change. People change. Systems change. The world change. Mindsets change. You have to be able to stick and move. You cannot be so loyal to what gave you results yesterday. You have to find out what is going to give you results today. The version of yourself that refuses to evolve, you're going to evolve or you're going to die. This is what happened with a lot of companies, especially during the pandemic. Portugal, star power cannot replace evolution. Here's the game lesson. Portugal lost 1-0 to Spain and exited the building, stage left. That's huge because Portugal has elite names, but names alone did not move them forward. I got that from Fox Sports. That wasn't a quote though, but that's the idea from Fox Sports. I have to give them credit. Right? Here's the business lesson. A business can have a famous founder. It can have a strong logo, a beautiful branding, right? And did so well in the past. But they will lose if they can't adapt. Think about it. Think about Kodak. You remember Kodak with the pictures? You remember Kodak where you used to get the picture them from and them never evolve?
Blackberry too.
Blackberry, exactly. Blackberry. Big up Jad Vice. Big up Jad Vice. Let me show this. Thank you very much for your super chat. But not lie, teacher, your beauty is a distraction. I can't learn all my clothes. See him. Let me say something. Jad Vice just loves him have a sweet mouth, you see. Jad Vice don't believe not what I'm saying. Him just have a sweet mouth. But he does good work. Him do good things. Big up yourself, Jad Vice. Big up yourself. Big up yourself, my bro. Even though you're prejudiced against Chinese Jamaican, but that's all right. Now, let's see. Right. So here's a mindset lesson. Your past success can become your biggest trap if you keep expecting yesterday's formula to win today's market. You cannot. That's your biggest trap. You know, it's some of these people who doesn't, oh, it worked. This is how we've always done things. Oh, I've been doing this for years. Well, maybe you've been, listen, maybe you've been doing it wrong for years, or maybe it worked last time, but it ain't working right now. Look at the results right now. Look at the data right now, and stop telling me what worked for you last year or the year before. That's just stupid. Right? Here's the entrepreneurship takeaway: reinvent before the market forces you to. Legacy is powerful, but evolution keeps you alive. It's facts. You have to reinvent. I know some writers who I did copywriting with here at Humber Trooper, you know Humber, right? College.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the Lakeshore campus.
Campus.
Right, where I did advertising copywriting. No, some of them know, right? Them have to evolve, because guess what? Because of AI, a lot of their jobs are gone. Them only keeping like a lot of creative directors, right? Because when you're advertising copywriting and stuff like that, like a lot of the junior positions, even the medium positions are gone, because they put it to AI and just have the creative director, you know, correct it or improve it or whatever. So they save money that way, but a lot of them have to reinvent themselves. It's just facts. Now, here's a football lesson. Thanks for the support, Jadvice. I do appreciate it. Here's a football lesson. Portugal entered with enormous respect, right? One of the most recognizable football nations in the world. Elite talent, global stars, and history. Yet, they were eliminated by Spain. History did not protect them. Reputation didn't score their goals. Legacy didn't win the match. Execution did. Execution. And this is why I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care. I'm going to get sick of me. I'm not going to tire of hearing me say it. This is why one of my pet peeves is having a great artist with a feeble team around them. Because their legacy won't win the match. The execution will. The rollout will help. Things like that. It's fact. Business works exactly the same way. Portugal, don't let one person become the business. Sorry, Portugal fans. I'm my Portugal friends who vex. A lot of them salty, you know, and them vex with me too. Sorry. Oh,
May I
like that.
just may I just add
Yes, please. Yes, of course. And I whenever I'm ready. Yeah.
um in business, when you're doing the contrast between the business and the football, um there's a couple things as well where probably I'm sure you're gonna touch on a couple of these points, but just
Talk freely. Talk
my
freely.
two cents.
Yeah, man. Talk
Um
freely.
um there's a thing called loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
and it does work in business as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? When it come to networking and remaining cordial with people,
Mm-hmm.
um when in a way name in a startup,
Mm-hmm.
if you're an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you grow with people,
Mm-hmm.
continue to maintain and massage those relationships and make sure say them blossom going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I make that me say that to say Portugal had been signed to Nike for over 30 or much year,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And whether people want to believe it or not, there's power in backing,
Mm-hmm.
right? These brands, all of these people, if una could remember maybe like 15, 20 years ago, it come out with the referee,
Mm-hmm.
um 2002 World Cup where Brazil win. It come out and say Nike spend like 150 mil for Brazil win that World Cup. Them grease the palms of officials and stuff like that because them Brazil is wearing them brand. And if you not notice, football is heavily sponsored by Adidas,
Mm-hmm.
including this World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The golden boot is a boot with a Adidas sign on it. The ball is Adidas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Adidas when name a football,
Mm-hmm.
right? So me think that also affect when name Portugal in a them campaign, and that are one of them. And I think the fact that when I do the contrast again with business and thing,
Mm-hmm.
people don't respect the leader. He's not leading properly. He's a selfish leader. There's no way all of the business people them I mean know always if you operate, because I can say football is like the entrepreneur level of business because it's something we have to constantly participate in, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening to you. Go ahead, man. I'm listening to
Yeah,
you.
right.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
listen to
you can
you.
you constantly have to show up when a football if you do the comparison to business. So you could answer I want entrepreneur status
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when you think about football, right? You have to be there. You have to do there.
Mm-hmm.
For the 90 minutes we perform. Just like in your business, when you start up as an entrepreneur, you have to be there
Mm-hmm.
100%,
Yes, yes, I
right?
agree. Mm-hmm.
And if you're not lead properly, and you're not set a proper example for everybody else where I follow you,
Mm-hmm.
that be the detriment of your business, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
If if you if you want call all the shots them as a businessman, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
delegating responsibility to your cohorts and your employees them,
Mm-hmm.
that gonna be a big problem. And
That's right.
that I compare so I see with Ronaldo and Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. I see what you're
Because
saying. Mm-hmm.
him in himself should answer, yo, right now, I'm not fit for 90 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
right? The other youth, him just win Champions League. The youth will score the the winning goal in
Mm-hmm.
the knockout stage,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Goncalo Ramos,
Yeah.
right? Come on, come score.
Yeah.
And the youth not even get a minute
Mm. Yeah.
in the round of 16 stage. That a complete nonsense. And this is why the youth them don't play for him,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
Because him still want wear the captain band for 90 minutes. Him don't want delegate responsibility to Bruno Fernandes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Him don't want share because him selfish. Which me know him couldn't say, "Oh, coach, let me off." Put
Mm-hmm.
on the youth, yeah. Him fitter than me. Him have the pace and him up to standard right now. Sometimes as a businessman and as a leader, you have to know when to bow out gracefully,
Yeah. You know what's
right?
funny? Can I tell you something? Just to interject. My dad actually said to me, huh, Cristiano is actually playing like he thinks this is his last World Cup. Interesting. I said, Daddy, why you said that? He said, I don't know. He's playing kind of greedy. I said, really? I said, well, I can kind of see it now. So now that you actually said it, my dad actually thinks something similar along those lines, but he's really analytical. So he will see things that I don't even see. And like when he pointed out, I'm like, oh, okay, I see it, right? So he actually sees. But I'm curious though, why do you think that them moving from Nike to Adidas, why do you think that that affected how they played? I don't see the correlation in how they played.
No,
Yeah.
no, to Puma, to
Oh,
Puma.
to Puma, right, right, right. So I'm sorry. But I don't see the correlation in that affecting how they played. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, it's not affecting. What
Yeah,
I'm saying is,
yeah.
there's biases in sport, right?
Right,
We see
right.
it with even Messi. Messi, I want player we like and
Mm-hmm.
so far and this and that.
Yeah.
You have biases in a football.
Yes,
You
yes, yes.
have you have officials, you have all of these guys where you don't know You don't know what kind of off the field money them a make with certain company. This is why I use the example where the 2002 World Cup, the official come out and them a show you how them send money to Switzerland, them send money to the Caymans
Mhm.
offshore,
Yeah, I
and
understand all that in True, but what
and
I'm saying is,
and
how does that affect how they played?
no, not affect how them pay. Like
Right.
certain cars and stuff like that. When I see them get Christie, when I see him get certain
Oh,
cars
I
and
see
stuff
what you
like that.
mean. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I
it's
see what
just like the Neymar. It's just like the Neymar syndrome. Ever since, if I notice,
you
the moment Neymar switched from Nike to Puma, him stock drop
Yeah.
completely. You see me? And all of the attention for it just overnight just transferred to Mbappe because
Yeah.
whether you like it or not, Nike I got pay much different media houses and influencers for post yeah,
Well, they're
right?
becoming gradually more balanced, I feel, as a
Oh,
team.
okay.
But they just need more. They just need more. As you said, there's a disconnect there because I do agree with what you're saying. The guy should have got more time for sure. Let me ask Warren or Same Flame if they have anything to add or anything they want to say.
No,
True.
well, I
You sound terrible again, Warren. Sound terrible.
Yeah, I took out the earphone again. I think the guy
Okay,
who
good.
just spoke,
Yeah.
him know the football details. I mean, everything that he says, I co-sign it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
football is a lot of politics, just like the general environment that you operate in. And so
Yes.
a lot of the things, the outcomes, which is why I say sometimes you really need a little luck. You
Yeah.
really need some of those marginal calls because greatness isn't just measured in a day, you know. There's a
Yeah.
number of things, a number of factors that really set into that. And you can think that okay, you can do it all alone, but boy, I mean I don't see that person yet. So, you know, that,
Hundred
that's
percent.
all I got to say.
That's not going to happen, Warren. 100%. I agree with you 100%. Same Flame. If anything that you want to say before I move on?
No, I completely agree. You see,
Yeah.
like anybody will truly like watch football with like a great amount of understanding for the game or just things that surround the game off the field
Yeah.
would agree with the true person.
Yeah.
And it's just like that.
Facts. And it ties right into this side, ties into what Trooper says too. That's why I wanted him to talk. So I was like, I'm listening to you, but I'm not going to interject. I just want you to talk because you had a flow, right? Your company should outgrow your personal brand, is fact, right? Many entrepreneurs become trapped. Why? Because the customers only trust them, the employees only listen to them. Sales only happen when they show up. They have not trained their people properly, they have not invested in their people. That's exhausting. The goal is I built a business, not I became my business. Don't build a prison for yourself, right? Legends eventually become mentors. They're supposed to. Legends are supposed to. Julia. They are supposed to. Don't say supposed to eventually. That's repetitive. Supposed to become mentors. Yeah. Right? Let somebody else benefit from everything else that you say. Big up Garnet Reed. Big up Garnet Reed. Good to see you. Good to see you, my God, brother. Right? The greatest entrepreneurs don't just produce revenue. We produce leaders. If nobody inside your company is growing, neither is your company. These are facts. You need to invest in people, right? You need to be able to pick good, look out for red flags, make sure they're worth the investment, make sure they want the investment, right? And then invest. That's what you have to do. Yes, Argentina. That's right. That's right, Garnet Reed. That's me too. Right? Ego destroyed succession. This is what my father and Trooper was saying. Right? Ego destroys succession. My father says to me, interesting. Ronaldo he's playing like he thinks that this is his last World Cup. Interesting. Like why you say that he's playing kind of greedy? And actually, after I look at it, I say, yeah. And Chupa confirm it too. More than one people see it. Right? Great leaders understand passing the torch increases your legacy. Yes. This is what a lot of these fake leaders don't understand, because they want to hog everything and they want to be the superstar and they want to be the loudest and the boldest and nobody must succeed except for them. Those are fake leaders. Those are not real leaders. Those are egomaniacs. Right? Passing the torch increases your legacy. You want me to prove it to you? Do you want me to prove it to you? Every time in dancehall, what do we talk about? Who boss him? Or who him boss? Him boss nobody? We always talk about that. You know why? That is a form of passing the torch. That is a form of lending your resources to say, you know what's happened? You can't take it. Right? It doesn't reduce it. It doesn't reduce your legacy. But selfish people say, oh, if you shine, that's less shine for me. No, it don't work that way. You can shine too in your own way. Jealous and insecure people think that way. But they don't understand the grace that you get and the actual halo that you get when you actually genuinely help other people. And you help other people become great. That's what a life is worth. Anyhow, can't teach people certain things. Reputation has an expiry date. These are facts. Right? Why am I shading Elon Musk? Funny. Reputation has an expiry date. Now, listen to me. Listen to me. I always tell you, yes, your reputation is very important because it will get you invited to the party. And you want to be invited to the party, even if you decline. You know, you still want to be invited. Even if you weren't planning to go. It's facts. Right? It's just social currency. It's facts. So, what I'm trying to say is that will get you invited. But the market doesn't care about reputation. It cares about what you do now. That's why we don't want hit and misses. Entrepreneurs often think, I've proven myself already. The market doesn't care. Retire then, if that's the case. That's why I even said to the artists them who said they don't need to make no more music. Okay, well then you're not in the game. Okay, bye. Make space for somebody else. Right? Now, there are legacy artists, which is great. Just like when you go to Barry Salmon show, you know what you're going to get. Everybody still go because you are legacy listeners. Right? But when it comes to this, just understand. And even him, don't rely on his reputation. Guess why? Because when him go there himself, I perform. If him go there and can, look at what happened to Lauryn Hill. When she did that unplugged CD recording. And live show, and she couldn't sing. She wasn't hitting the notes. Them everyone's like, "What the hell happened to Lauryn Hill?" One show took that, right? Customers wake up and ask, "What value do you bring to me today?" These are facts. This is what they ask. What's in it for me today? Not, oh, what did you accomplish 5 years ago? It's important. That's great. It'll give you a reputation. Okay, that's why we look at reviews. Yes, it's important. I'm not taking it away from it. But don't live there. Don't rely on it. Because guess what? I want you to always know today becomes yesterday very soon. Right? The other day, I was 25. I blinked and I am the age I am now. You're not going to trip me. I'm not going to tell you. And my energy is age. Right? Facts. Today is going to become yesterday's very soon. And today is going to be 5 years ago very soon. Very, very soon. Kodak once dominated photography. Just like what Trooper was saying, BlackBerry dominated smartphones. Blockbuster dominated movie rentals. You don't forget that? You don't forget that. Right? Each believed reputation would protect them. Each of them believed that. But the market moved on anyway. Here's a founder mistake. Many founders become emotionally attached to the way success originally happened. They mistake nostalgia for strategy. Same thing I was saying. Evolve or die. Here is my quote. The market rewards relevance, not memories. That is why in dancehall too, when Cartel was going for, when people were saying, oh, Beanie is still the king and Cartel is not the king, the main thing, what people were saying, who was saying that Cartel is the king, is saying, yes, Beanie have what he has, but those are memories. Right now, Cartel is relevant. The king of dancehall has to be relevant. He's relevant right now. The market, dancehall, rewards relevance, not just memories, or not memories as much. It's facts. You don't like it, you have to bite it. Too bad. Ego is expensive, people. Listen, you know much you know much times I see ego cost people things more than money. Ego will always shut doors in you, shut doors and potential doors in your face. That ego of yours will always change the trajectory of your life. You'll always choose a lesser timeline because of your ego. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I see. And I see a lot. I see far. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I see. Right? Don't stay the hero. Become the mentor so you can create other heroes. The entrepreneurs who cling to every decision eventually become bottlenecks. You're in your own way. The ones who develop others multiply their impact. That's multiplication that we're talking about. Portugal's broader lesson is that every generation must prepare the next, not resist it. This is the same thing with dancehall. Every generation, we must prepare the next generation. We can't resist them. Okay? It's facts. In life too. A founder who refuses to let managers make decisions creates paralysis. Why are they managers? If they're a manager, let them manage. A founder who coaches managers creates scale. Why? Show them how you coach them. Let them see how you coach so that they can coach just like how you coach. That's how you create little me's. It's facts. Psychology. Control often feels like leadership. A lot of times, this is the psychology of it. A lot of times, these people feel like, oh, because I'm in control, I control everything. I'm the leader. No, you're just a freaking control freak. And nobody likes you. And nobody likes working with you. And you feel like you have to control people in order to influence them. That's sick. That's not normal. That is not normal. And the only people that fall for that are people with low self-esteem, or the people who have some serious trauma that they need to work through because it feels familiar. This is not healthy. Sometimes it's fear. These people are actually afraid wearing a leadership costume. They're afraid that they're going to get cut. They're afraid that people are going to see them for who they are. It's just fear masquerading, and that's why they're the loudest and the bulliest. Wearing a leadership costume, that's not leadership. It's facts. You must reinvent yourself before you're forced to, because the markets evolve, the technology evolves, the customers evolve. If you only change after you lose, you're already behind, buddy. It's facts. You already lost. Champions evolve while they're still winning. While you're still winning, you need to evolve. You need to anticipate what's going on next. Right? Every year, I have to ask this: what part of my business is becoming outdated? Like this year was the first year in, I think, 6 years I didn't do my July 1st Canada Day raffle. It felt so odd. But it's outdated now. Why am I still doing it? Is it because I enjoy it? The return on investment is not that great. You know, we can do without it. Energy, we can conserve energy and do something else. What assumptions am I making that may no longer be true? Something might be true last year, it may not be true this year. If I started this business today, what would I do differently? That is something I ask myself all the time. There's a lot. Those type of questions keep companies alive. Right? So Portugal's lesson, I'll ask these gentlemen to talk afterwards if they have anything to add. Portugal's lesson isn't about failure, it's about evolution. Every entrepreneur has a choice. You become a monument to past success and keep talking about how great you were in the past, or you become a student of future opportunity and see what else you can develop and be better at. The businesses that endure are rarely the ones with the greatest history. They're the ones with the greatest willingness to adapt. They want to adapt. They have to. Never become so proud of what built your success, Fire Nation, that you refuse to build your future. because you're so in love with your past and you're so in love with your golden past that you refuse to look forward and see where you are right now. You're running out of money, buddy. You need to build your future. Legacy is a beautiful thing, yes, but you can't live there. You cannot live in the past, right? Only if it becomes the foundation for your next victory instead of the excuse for your next defeat. And that's my quote. Don't make your legacy be. I see that all the time. People use their legacy as an excuse for their next defeat. Oh, them not listen to this one anymore. Them not doing it no more. No, man, them not care about this no more. And oh, back in the day, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so then are you going to, okay, now that we know it's different, are you going to switch it up or no? Are you just going to still talk about it? Right? Solution based thinking. It solves so much. That's why I keep saying it. I don't just say it for my health. I say it because it's true. And I actually live what I say. If I didn't live what I say, I wouldn't be out here telling you and teaching you the same thing every time. I'm telling you what I know. Right? I'm telling you what I know. Good. Gentlemen, do you have anything you want to add at all? If not, that's okay.
Just when you man. Just when you man. Trust is parallel with both. When it comes to passing the torch. You have to
Yes.
trust.
Yes.
You have to trust.
That's
And
right.
that's when I have faith and know say put the torch in our real good responsible hand and
Yes.
you think them can sit at the helm going forward.
That's right. And in order to have that trust, you must have had trust in yourself that you had helped develop this leader or you trust in that person. That's why we said at the beginning, Trooper, you're going to have to make a choice, either control or trust. It's facts, what you said, right? Because you're going to, if you're going to have to be able to give up some control. You cannot micromanage people. And people can feel, especially intelligent people who you hope to have around you, even more intelligent than you, they can feel when you don't trust them. Nobody likes that, right? See, real talk. And the higher you go up, the more people want your culture is important. You have to create a good environment for people. Anybody else want to say anything else before we continue? We're going to talk about Spain and Morocco. No? Okay. Now, these two, very interesting to me. They represent two completely different paths to success, right? Spain, for me, taught mastery, patience, systems, and control. Morocco, that underdog, that teaches me belief, identity, resilience, and maximizing limited resources. They are opposite approaches, but both produce winners. I love Morocco because Morocco is definitely the underdog. Now, Spain, here they are, right? Okay. So let me ask you something. Who controls a negotiation? The person talking the most or the person controlling the conversation? Who controls a business? The entrepreneur posting the most or the entrepreneur that's quietly building assets? Who controls a football match? Usually the team controlling the ball. And that's Spain. Spain teaches us one of the most overlooked business principles in existence. Control creates options. Desperation eliminates them. See, I tell you about that desperation. Never, ever, ever make yourself get to a desperation point, right? Because your desperation will eliminate your options. It's facts. Have you ever noticed the most dangerous entrepreneurs? Usually, we aren't the loudest. We're usually calm, we're pretty patient, right? Spain teaches us one of the most overlooked principles in business. Whoever controls the tempo controls the outcome. These are facts, especially in football. And I know you guys believe that as well. Let me talk about the game lesson, and then afterwards, I'd love for you guys to interject. Here is what I learned from Spain, guys. Control the tempo or the market will control you. This is true. Sometimes you can't help, but the market will control you, especially the market big. But let's continue. Here's the game lesson. Spain beat Portugal 1-0. with a stoppage time goal. That is patience under pressure. And Fox Sports confirmed that. Here's the lesson. Spain teaches strategic control. Okay. In business, the person who controls the pace often controls the outcome. It's true. That means controlling your cash flow, controlling your calendar, controlling your messaging. This is very important. I'm going to talk about this is your branding. Controlling your customer experience, having systems, right? And decision making. Okay, that is what it means. Your cash flow is important. As an entrepreneur, you need liquidity. Okay, because opportunities come and go, and guess what? Things happen, accidents happen. You have to be able to get to where you need to get to and get what you need to get. Here's the mindset lesson. Don't confuse patience with weakness. A lot of people do that. A lot of people, because they're so used to loud and aggressive, they don't understand how much strength. That's why patience is a virtue, right? And if you watch, and this is what I tell you, that's why I love this, guys. That's why I love reading, and that's why I love Animal Planet and them things. Watch the animals, them, and when they hunt, right? Nature don't lie to you. Okay. Sometimes patience is the highest form of confidence. It's facts. This is the entrepreneurship takeaway. Don't rush because the competitors are loud. Move when the move is right. You have to have your own discernment. Everybody jumping on something, that don't mean say you need to jump on it. Everybody believes something, that don't mean you have to believe it. Think for yourself. It's facts. It's facts. You have to be able to train yourself that way. Whenever people say to me that, oh, but everybody don't think, everybody think it, and everybody, and you know what I always say? I always say, listen to me. Hitler's Germany was wrong. And that was a whole lot of people. Don't tell me what everybody telling me. Don't tell me what everybody think. Don't tell me what everybody's saying. I don't care. I don't care, because I know there's a whole heap of idiots for every one smart person. And people just follow people. People love leaders, and they will follow foolishness. So if it don't make sense to me, make it make sense. If it don't make sense, then it just don't make sense. Simple. Simple. Right? Don't forget that, Fire Nation. When everybody tells you, oh, everybody think that, no, it's true. It's true. You consider the messaging. You consider that everybody thinks that that's fine. But you trust your own judgment as well. Rely on your own instincts as well. This society will have you dumbing your instincts. Never ever you forget that Hitler's Germany was a whole lot of people. And they were all wrong. Well, most of them. Okay? Good. Here's a football lesson. Many people only saw the score. Spain defeat Portugal 1-0. Fire Nation. Entrepreneurs should study how they won. Spain didn't panic. They were cool as a cucumber. They really were. They remained disciplined. They trusted their style. Right? They waited for opportunities instead of forcing them. They were very cool in that game. They understood something that many entrepreneurs forget. You don't have to win every minute. You only have to win when it matters. This is fact. When it matters. So in other words, you don't have to tire out yourself. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the lesser, for the greater good. You'd sacrifice the lesser thing for the greater good. Sometimes you have to do that. That's why them always say, you may have won the battle, but you don't win the war. It's facts. It's not an ego thing. It's not a showy thing. You have to win when it matters. Possession is leverage. This is what Spain have. Spain often dominates possession. Why? Why does he? Why do they? Because the team with the ball controls the pace. They're very patient. They're very good. They're good players, man. It's like that watching dancing. Cash flow is possession. When you control cash, you control the decisions. It's facts, especially for your business, right? Companies without cash becomes reactive. But everything that happens, you're like, oh, you panic because you don't have the cash to protect yourself, right? Companies with cash become strategic. You can say, okay, I need to pay for this. I need to send this. You need to pay for that. You need to pay your lawyer. You become strategic. You don't become reactive and panic. Control the tempo. Successful entrepreneurs don't rush because competitors are rushing. Let them rush. Let everybody talk about that stupid topic. Who cares? Right? Right? You dictate your own timing. Sometimes waiting is the winning move, is facts. Sometimes waiting is the winning move. You know why too? Manipulators will love to rush you. I never want you to forget that. Manipulators want everything to happen fast and they want to rush you and put urgent. Everything is urgent. Everything is urgent. Everything's not urgent. Okay? The individuals with the maximal ring generalship controls the negotiation. Mhm. That's what Lalibela says. Right? Gentlemen, same thing. You want to say anything? No?
Very, very, very true in terms of analyzing the game between Spain and Portugal. Spain never panicked once. They realized they had full control over what's going
Mhm.
on. So no need to panic, knowing that they already have their strategy that they're going with and they never um deter from the strategy, and the strategy won them the game.
Facts. Facts, same thing. Facts. Facts. Small, consistent actions creates dominance. Not every pass is spectacular, but together they become overwhelming, right? Business grows in exactly the same way daily, emails, customer follow up, social media, reading, networking. Nothing seems huge until 5 years later. Okay? We don't have to give that right now. So, this is the leadership principle. People respect leaders who appear in control, even during uncertainty. Calm leadership builds confidence. Panic destroys it. But that doesn't mean that you have to, you're not going to be honest. You must be honest. Don't confuse calm leadership with telling the people them lie. Tell them the truth, especially if you have to lay off people. But just be calm about it. Right? When entrepreneurs panic, they confuse movement with progress. They're just moving a lot. They're just panicking. Just because you're busy doesn't mean that you're winning. Spain reminds us that sometimes slowing down creates faster results. Here is our takeaway on you entrepreneurs. Never let urgency replace strategy. Urgency makes you emotional. It does. That's why manipulators love urgency. Fast talking. Strategy makes you profitable. Don't forget this. Whenever somebody is trying to rush you into something, right? Or rush you is you have to do it now. Usually, no, just slow down. Usually, they're probably trying to manipulate you. Okay. Football teams fight for possession. Business fight for cash flow. Without possession, you chase. Without cash flow, you chase. You chase customers, you chase loans, you chase investors, you chase opportunities, you chase confidence. Everything changes. That's when you don't have cash flow. That's the same thing with possession, with the ball, right? Good. People love to look wealthy, but real entrepreneurs value liquidity. Freedom is found in cash flow. It's facts. It's facts. Until you're able to have the cash flow and the Bentley, or have the cash flow and the Jaguar, or whatever it is that you want. Prioritize the cash flow, not looking rich. Because if an emergency happen, you can't pay for it with your Jaguar.
Yeah, the cash flow is the most important thing in a business.
That's
The
right.
constant cash flow,
That's right. The liquidity. You have to be able to.
because they need the cash flow for the daily operation of the business also.
That's right. That's right. And you also need to pay suppliers. And what if a opportunity come up? That happened to me one time years ago. An opportunity came up and I couldn't take it because I didn't have enough cash flow. And that opportunity would have opened so many doors. And that was a lesson learned, right? Revenue.
Cash flow is very important.
Cash, that's why I wrote this. Revenue buys applause. Yay, everybody love it. Oh, you're rich, whatever. But cash flow buys survival. That will buy your survival. It will help you to survive, especially if people. But money is your best protector. You hear? These are facts. Everything that to protect you, you're going to need money. Regardless if you protection in the legal or the illegal way. It's facts. Entrepreneurship example. Imagine reading 10 pages every day. After 1 week, nothing changes. After 1 year, you read over a dozen books. After 10 years, your thinking becomes completely different. That's compound growth, the same thing I was talking about before. Right? The market rewards consistency, not intensity. Anybody can work hard for 1 week, but can you stay disciplined for 10 years? This is the psychology. Impatience usually comes from fear. Patience comes from confidence. Right? Here's the Spain fire summary. Spain teaches entrepreneurs that the loudest company rarely wins. The most controlled one usually does. Control your money. Fire Nation. Control your emotions. Control your calendar. Control your systems. Control your environments. Julia, you should put that first. Control your environment. But you gotta make this up. Come on. Yeah. Eventually, you'll control your results. It's facts. Stop chasing every opportunity and start mastering the opportunities that you've already earned. That's what Spain did. Right? You control the space, you control the outcome. Okay. So with Spain, what you learn, you don't have to panic because your competitors are panicking. Big up DL, sit. Big up DL, my favorite ups. Big up, bless up. Good to see you. Who you carrying, DL? Who is your team? Our team here is Argentina. So with Spain, same flame, right? This is what we learn. The most dangerous entrepreneurs, the ones that you have to contend with, they're not always the loudest. They're not the loudest. They're calm. We're calm. We're very patient, right? Spain, as I said before, it teaches us who controls the tempo, controls the outcome. And you don't panic just because your competitors panic. You don't do that. You don't have to react just because social media reacts. Not because everybody talking about the topic means you have to talk about it. These are facts. Be selective. Winners dictate. That's what we do. We dictate what it is that we are going to do. Because we're inwardly led. We don't give a damn what you're doing or what you're talking about. If it's not interesting to us, we're not going to talk about it. Right? Followers respond. Build a business. Right? Where you can decide the pace. You have to be able to do that. Right? We're going to get to Morocco soon. Right now, Portugal. Oh, Portugal. Oh, we just talked about Portugal deal. You should go back over it because we did a good treatment on Portugal just now. That tracks. My ups, that tracks. We're going to talk about Morocco. The business of becoming the impossible. These underdogs here. These fighters here, Morocco. Right? Now, let's talk about my favorite kind of story. My favorite kind of story, Fire Nation. You know me, the underdog. Because underdogs destroy excuses. That's what underdogs do. That's why I love them. All of your excuses that you tell yourself why you couldn't make it, the underdog destroys all of that. They expose every entrepreneur who says, oh, I don't have enough money. I don't know enough people. I don't have the right equipment. I'm waiting for the perfect time. What does Morocco remind us? Morocco reminds us that history is often written by people who refuse to accept the odds. Yes, Argentina DL. Right? Now, it's facts. It's facts. Right? They were the underdog. Same flame, you have anything you want to say about Morocco before I continue?
Yeah, they were the underdog. I mean, after a while, them start like kind of like embody this underdog type of mentality and character. You see, it
Yeah,
show in how they play today. I think they got so much like entwined with that whole underdog narrative,
yeah,
result in how they play today. Last World Cup, the underdog actually worked for them,
yeah.
but they relied being and as the underdog for so long to the point where them could do nothing to France today. Like there is no creativity, there is no link up play.
Right.
There is really nothing when I watch the match today that they could have done to France being an underdog.
And you know
That
why though? But you know why? Because we talked about it when we talked about France. What does France rely on a lot of? Their systems. Their systems. And they have that,
exactly
and they have the
system.
right, and they have the insurance of great players as one gone and the next one born. Right?
Exactly.
So scrappiness won't scrappiness alone and talent alone will not beat systems. That's what we were talking about from before. You see what I'm saying? So
Just like what they did to Paraguay. They
exact
came to play scrappy. France still won.
exactly right. Exactly right. Same page. Same place. DL says France was always the favorite to win. Morocco couldn't keep up. All right, so this is the game lesson. This is what I learned. Same flame, right? Identity is a weapon. That's true. This is the game lesson. Morocco beat clearly I wrote this before the game today. So Morocco beat Canada 3-0 and now faces France. They're not just participating, they're imposing themselves. Right? This is the business lesson. Morocco teaches that underdogs win when they stop trying to look like everyone else. It's a fact. They just want Morocco was being Morocco, as you said, right? A small brand should not always copy big brands. No. Your difference is often your advantage. It's facts. Don't be afraid to be true to yourself and do what is right for you because it will work for you. Nobody can be you, right? Lots of people said to me, "Oh, Julia, you're not going to be successful because it's a dancehall niche and blah blah blah." I was like, "So you think people don't like business? You think people don't like to think about entrepreneurship? You think people are just only dancehall minded? Just that's okay. Just let me create what I'm creating. You understand what I'm saying? But people don't understand that because they know the experience. But sometimes you have to teach people by actually doing and not just saying, right? Your difference is often your advantage. So this is the mindset lesson. Confidence changes how people respond to you. It's fact. If you know and behave, and you behave like you belong, people eventually start treating you like you belong. It's facts. Entrepreneurship takeaway: build from identity, not insecurity. It's facts. Sometimes you go to certain events and you see some people and you see them acting like them, they're dressed nicely, but them acting like them insecure, like them don't belong there, like them feel out of place. And you can see it, right? That's why I encourage them to keep coming out. Keep coming to the networking events because soon you get used to it. Never ever just stop doing something just because you feel like you don't fit in. If you really want to learn or accomplish it, keep going. If something is not right for you, then it's just not right for you. But don't just stop just because of the fact you're uncomfortable. That's growth. Everything is going to be uncomfortable, right? So you build from identity. You have to have your identity straight, not insecurity. Okay? Here's a football lesson, right? Morocco eliminated Canada 3-0 to reach the quarterfinals. Many people still see Morocco as a smaller football nation. Yes, we do. That's exactly why they're dangerous. They stopped asking for permission to compete. Instead, they decided, yo, we belong here in this World Cup. That's a business lesson. Here is the key. I want you to never forget this. Resourcefulness beats resources. There's some people who born with everything, gold spoon in their mouth, and don't accomplish not. But somebody born in the inner city
Brazil,
are
Brazil,
very
Brazil, Brazil, Brazil. This current crop of Brazilian players.
right, very resourceful, very, very resourceful, and that will beat them. Right?
Well funded, everything. You
Right.
just cannot get the job done.
Exactly. 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 Same flame. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Exactly. Same flame. You know what? Same flame.
And
Couldn't say that.
you know who is breaking out of that now?
Yeah.
England. England was like that
I
for
don't
like
reach there. I soon
decades.
reach. I soon reach England. I soon reach England. I wonder if I should cut this lesson in two because I did a lot of work. Same flame said Brazil as an example of resources. Yeah, it's facts. And Morocco is the resourcefulness. Facts. Thanks, same flame. I have to give you credit. Right? Facts. Let me put facts.
Yeah, Brazil. Brazil is the perfect definition of this. Perfect definition.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But let me put some respect on them name. Right? Morocco shot the football world because they maximized every advantage. The lesson one. Here's the lesson for you, my Fire Nation people. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Many entrepreneurs they think, oh, I'll start after I get more money, a better camera, a better office. Morocco prove you don't need the biggest budget. You need the biggest belief and you need your discipline. Start with what you have where you are and keep going. Identity, yes, is a competitive advantage. Morocco didn't imitate everyone else. They embraced who they are. They said we are the underdogs and we are scrappy and we fight scrappy, right? Businesses should stop trying to look like Apple. A lot of them try, right? Become unforgettable instead in your own way. Okay? This is my quote. You'll never outperform the identity that you've accepted. It's facts. And I want you guys to really think about this. A lot of times, a lot of you, I hear you guys on the platforms and you have some very self-limiting beliefs. This is how I am, this is who I am, and this is it. How do you know? You can live many lifetimes in one life. These are facts. You're supposed to improve as you get older. You're not supposed to just get older. You're supposed to get better at doing life. So sometimes you're going to have to think, no, not even sometimes, Julia. All the time, you're going to have to think higher of yourself in order to achieve higher. I always talk to you about becoming the person worthy of pulling the sword out of the stone. That was the whole lesson of Excalibur, right? You have to become the person, or you have to be the person that can pull the sword out of the stone, right? Certain things that you want to experience, certain lives that you want to live, certain things that you want to achieve. Maybe your current identity is not it. Maybe your current identity and the way how you behave makes you a liability for the future that you want. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about that? So when you hear these people say, oh, me just stay so, come from here so, and oh, me come from Gerson, oh, me just, no. If that's where you want to stay, then that's fine. You're free to stay what you want to stay, but don't hold other people who want to improve them life. Every generation is supposed to improve. You're supposed to get better at doing this as you get older. It's facts. But you can't give people wants or desires. But I'm just saying, if you want different, you're going to have to be different. And you're going to have to do different. It's facts. Good. So you will never outperform the identity you have accepted. If you say to yourself, I am this, I am that, and I am this way, I'm that way, then you created your own prison. Right? Now, this may be my favorite entrepreneurial lesson. Resourcefulness beats resources. Everyone wants more money, more equipment, more time, more staff, more connection. Morocco teaches us maximize what you already have. Use what you have to get more. Right? Sarah Blakely, she started Spanx with $5,000. That's it. John Coombe, he built WhatsApp after immigrating with very little. He never had the money. He was broke. Many billion-dollar companies started with laptops Amazon started in a garage, not skyscrapers. The limiting factor was not their money, it was imagination, right? And using what they got to get what they want. So I want you to ask yourself, what's one excuse that you've been hiding behind? What you've been telling yourself, right? That Morocco basically eliminated tonight. Stop asking for permission. A lot of entrepreneurs, they wait. They want somebody to validate them, tell them they're doing a great job. They want somebody to invest. They want somebody to notice. They want somebody to say yes. Listen to me. Nobody is going to clap for you until other people are clapping for you, until you're successful. These are facts. That's why you must clap for yourself. Okay? Stop waiting for people to approve you. Approve yourself and keep going. And then success comes and then people will clap. That's just how it works. Morocco teaches greatness begins the moment you stop asking permission to compete. Just compete. Just do it. Okay? How many successful YouTubers started with perfect cameras? Very few. How many best-selling authors started with publishers? Many self-published first. It's facts. Momentum comes from action, not approval. Do not wait for approval. You will not get it. And if you get it, you do not rely on it. Okay? I want you to self-assess yourself. What dreams are you delaying because you're waiting for permission that nobody is ever going to give you? Here's Morocco's summary. Morocco teaches us that greatness isn't reserved for those with the biggest budgets. It's not. Don't make people psych you out because you didn't go to the right schools. Right? It's not reserved for the most famous names or the longest history. It belongs to those who maximize what they have. Artists, are you listening? Embrace a winning identity and refuse to let external limitations define internal belief. Don't let your outside define your inside. You cannot. It don't work that way. It's from the inner to the out. The underdog is often just the organization that believed before everyone else did. They believe in themselves before everybody else did. Right? Never underestimate the entrepreneur who has less to lose and more to prove. Don't underestimate them. Especially even in music too. Think about the artist. That's why I said don't underestimate artists. History doesn't always remember who had the biggest advantages, but it remembers who had the courage to challenge them. Build your business like Morocco played this tournament. Believe first, execute relentlessly, and let the world catch up to your vision later. Now, France, from today, as you were saying, same flame, right? The systems definitely beat out. So what I'm going to do, because this, hi, Collis, you guys all right to stay? Because, I mean, I can cut this lesson and then finish it up tomorrow if you want. But I can continue if you want.
Wait, so you're gonna do a new lesson tomorrow?
I was thinking to do a part 2 tomorrow because
Yeah, cause match I play tomorrow, so it could add more to it. Like from
to
the
be
results
honest,
from tomorrow match, it could
to
add
be
it.
honest, I wouldn't be able to do that, because I have a lot of work tomorrow. So,
Oh,
so you have to make it sustainable. So I would finish up, but right now where we're at 118. So the next one would be England. So I can
yeah.
I can do England tomorrow. Let me see how much, but it would be short tomorrow. Let me see. England from 119. How much slides I have? Like 119 to, yeah, I can do tomorrow for sure. 119 to 209. That's good. That's a good balance because today we went up to 119. So that's a good balance. So tomorrow we can continue. So I'll do a part 2 for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, but you see, the thing
Yeah,
is, most,
tomorrow is Friday.
I wonder if I should do it tomorrow though, because the thing is, the market is saturated with people going live on Friday.
But you gotta do one for Saturday too because
Well, I'll let me do
that's
it for
big.
Saturday. Yeah, let me
Yeah.
do it for Saturday then, because I'll do it for Saturday then. So let me just finish this one up right now, the lessons from the World Cup, and then Saturday we continue and we do England and we continue. Right? Now we move into what I think is the most psychologically powerful section of the entire presentation. England, Norway, and Switzerland each represent a different kind of entrepreneur. England to me represent potential versus execution. Norway is the superstar trap. We're going to go into that. Switzerland, emotional discipline under pressure. This was very true. These lessons go far beyond football. So, people, I want you to join me tomorrow for that. Um, Tonight we're going to stop here, and I'm going to add. You know what? Same flame. You're right. I'm going to add some. I'm going to make an effort and add some more information for it.
Yeah, just
Yeah, to
tweak
make it
few
more
little
current.
things.
You're right. You're right, same flame. You're right. You're right. I can do it. It will only take me like probably an extra hour. I can budget that time. So
Probably half an hour.
the way how I want to go in depth, I probably not.
Oh, oh.
But yeah, big up college. So yeah, so good night everybody. Anybody want to add anything? Anybody want to call in? Everybody like the live. All you people in the bushes, please like the live. And we'll be back on Saturday because tomorrow I have a lot of work to do too. And I don't want to compete with anybody going live talking about, what them talking about. So Saturday we'll go live again. I think we should do it earlier, right? Same flame. Like what time are you available on Saturday? If you are.
Same time.
Same time? Okay, 7. All right. So 7 on Saturday, guys. We'll be back here. You guys be ready. DL, I hope to see you and I hope you can call in and tell us what you think. Even though you always choose the losing team, Portugal. Jeez. Poor DL. He always chooses wrong. Poor DL.
Portugal.
Poor DL. That's unbelievable. That's
That
why
that
I'm
team was doomed from the beginning.
I know, right?
I know Portugal couldn't do the long run to the final. That team was doomed for because as you advance, the match get more intentional. You have to have a strategy to win these matches.
That's right. That's right.
In the first group stage, they just weed out opponents. That's literally what the group stage is for. But as the stages advance, you literally have to have game plan. You literally have to have a designated person that use running the midfield show, use running the offense show, and a person that is responsible for the defense. That's when now you start to see like the genius of coaches, like the right decision. For example, yesterday, no, not yesterday. The Argentina match between what them name again? Yeah, just Argentina match versus Egypt. The coach did a horrible job.
Mm.
The coach was being carried throughout the 78 minutes.
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
coach was carried by the players, which gave the coach like a false sense that he's actually doing the work.
Yes,
When it
yes.
came down to crunch time, like where it mattered the most, the
Yeah,
coach make some wrong decision.
yeah, yeah,
The coach put on attackers
yeah,
instead of defenders.
yeah,
When
yeah,
Argentina took the lead, equalized, Scaloni made great decisions. Scaloni took out attackers and
yeah,
put in more defenders to secure their lead, to
yeah,
secure their grip on the game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 100% right. And you know what? That ties into what we were just talking about a while ago. Winning when it matters. You're 100% right, same flame.
Yeah,
100% right.
they,
100% right.
they had the game to win. They literally had the game to win.
That's right. Thinking out loud.
Because,
Wait, hold on one second. Thinking out loud. I see right. Waste man deal. No, no, no. We don't do that over here. Sorry, Trey. Big up yourself, Trey.
boy,
I'm glad that you're
Trey,
here. I'm glad that you're here, Trey. And you know that you're always welcome. But we don't do that over here at all, at all. And DL is my favorite apps actually too. But we don't diss each other over here like that.
I
So
wonder why.
what do you mean? Oh, why DL is
Is
my
that
favorite
just
app?
don't care?
You know what? Because it was just the most decent one so far. You know what I mean? The rest of them decent still. But I mean, DL cool, man. DL don't disrespect anybody. Him just troll, right? And talk a lot of foolishness about cartel. But him not really, him not cause nothing like that.
Just the regular.
Him good, man. DL good, yeah. But we tease each other. We say we're favorite apps, but I don't know nothing. But yeah. But
Yeah, that's serious.
yeah, yeah, but what you're saying is 100% right, same flame.
Yeah,
Hundred percent right.
it was a coaching, and it shows that Egypt did not went through any adversity.
What you mean by that?
They quickly broke under pressure.
Yes. Yes.
In in
Yes.
in 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 mere minutes,
Yeah.
literal minutes,
But
completely
completely.
broken down.
But that revealed what they were practicing. That's what we were saying from before. That revealed the weak spots, because you can't really see the weak spots until them get elite challenging. You see what I'm saying? And it's when them get the challenging now that you can actually see them fall under pressure. So you can see the systems them never build strong enough.
Never
You see
built
what I'm
strong
saying?
enough.
Never build strong enough. That's how things
Uh,
got revealed. Yeah,
you can literally see the difference in Argentina system
yeah,
between the Cape Verde game and the Egypt game. You can literally see that they have a system in place where they can always go to, and that's the digging out the win at
that's
any
right.
given time against any given team.
That's
You have
right.
many games where Argentina up like 3-0 and them no face no adversity, but being the champion that they are, they
Yeah.
understand that there's going to come a time where we're gonna have to face like strong teams as
Uh oh. Oh, you broke out. Oh no, don't lose what you said. You said strong teams, and then you jump off. Oh no, same flame. Come back. You have to hang up and come back in. Same flame has some great points. That's why I like when you guys call in, and that's why I want you guys to call in about it. Saturday, you guys from different teams call in, because I want to hear your takes on it. Because it's so good to hear the way how you guys watch the football. It's different than how I watch the football. But I can remember when you're talking, I'm like, yes, that's exactly right. He's on point. Everything that the man's saying is on point, 100%. Right? 100%. Right? Let me see if we're going to call back in. But listen, guys, we are going to. I wasn't. Oh, you wasn't being serious, Train. No problem. No problem. Good. No problem. Once they'll know I want you. It's fine to troll each other. Well, it's fine to troll each other, but once you don't get disrespectful. I didn't know if you was really being disrespectful or not. But we try to keep the environment over here like peaceful, and you know what I mean, because we don't want things to devolve into argument. Because as soon as people start to poke at each other, sometimes it can get them. They start to get crazy and go away from the lesson. But if you wasn't being serious, no problem. No problem. No problem, Trey. I guess we just didn't know. But I appreciate Lalibella for trying to for actually um protecting the space and stuff like that. I appreciate that very much, because that's what we want. Keep a good learning environment. But thank you so much for that, Trey. Um well, we're going to cut and come back on Saturday at 7, and we're going to continue with England, right? But I want to big up everybody that came by, everybody that listened. Remember, guys, treat Mr. Fambo good when you see him on the media, right? He's one of our elders, and he actually have a good heart, right? So don't take it serious, but and support his song. His song is really, really good.
Someone like, I beg you pardon. I beg you pardon. What a man like.
That's what I said to somebody recently. I was like, wait, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. What a man lie. I beg your pardon. Oh, Julia, start get trouble. All right. Listen, best up on yourself, and I will see you guys soon. I have a lot of work to do. And I will see you on Saturday at 7 p.m. This is Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher, and I'm out.
Fire Nation, listen to me. You don't log off and go back to playing small. You take what you learned and you execute. This is why Fire Nation exists. To rise higher, to build smarter, and to change the financial future of our families. I'm Miss Julia, A.K.A. Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. And wherever you go next, you carry our fire with you. Fire Nation, we rise, we build, and we're just getting started.